Good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the spiritual UFO talk show. Welcome, Rocket Appliances, Law of One. Liz with Spirit and Grace, welcome. Rami 300, thanks for the follow. Francis Ramos, may the force be with you. I like that one. Kristen, Texas, Dana, everybody out there. Robert, let's see, Smiley. I see John Gospel, Marinee, Peace, Love, and Light. Ellie Love, Kay, welcome. Hi, Jan, good to see you. Dallas Teaford, Trina Blue Tea in Idaho. Well, hey, I got a hat. Hey, thank you for the hat and the mustache. You folks are great. Jennifer, hey, good evening, Jennifer. Gage, I think it is. Good evening. And Big Papa, I think it is Big Papa. That's a long one. User 886, welcome to the show, Renee. Hey, good to see you. Sam Swan Smurf, welcome to the show, Smurf. Star Runner Infinite, welcome. Area 511, coast to coast. John Garver, Wood, welcome to the show. Marches Graham, Transcending, welcome to the show. Karen Koopman, Survival Chief, I think it is. Zoe. Dusty Wyckoff, I think it is. Mark, welcome to our show. Mark, Sam Swan, thanks for joining us. H. Wags, good to see you. Karen Stevenson, welcome to the show. Key M. Aban. Robin Vins, I think it is. Tabitha, welcome to the show. Grace, welcome to the show, Grace. Let's see here. Hector 541, hey Kit Kat, good to see you. Victor Fu, TB Dixon, Gary Rakes, all these beautiful people. Cody, welcome to the show. Indigo Light Gem, Max 619, Lavola, good to see you. Hey, everybody, everyone coming in. There's so many names. If I had to read everybody's names coming in here, it'll take me the whole night. Lori, welcome. Retic 67, blessings to you, Retic. K. Smith, good evening. Good to see everybody coming in here. May T. Artemino, I think it is, Butcher. Rami 300. One time I saw a blue hologram and he warned me about the social security number. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, Sprites. Good to have you with us. Dick Kaner, Caroline Smith, Lord Maximus, I think it is. Catching all his name. Lori Lou. Hey, Lori Lou. J Bev 777. Welcome to the show. Good to have all the people coming in here. Yuki, welcome. Hey, Serenity 7. Good to see you. Matt Pope. Macy. Welcome, Macy. User 903. All or None, welcome to the show. Charles, welcome. Jose, welcome to the show. Johnny, welcome to Encounters. Jeanette, welcome to Encounters. Morales, I think it is. Maria, welcome. Diggler, welcome to the show. I'm trying to catch all these names. They go so quickly. Sky Redhawk, welcome. Dennis P52. Dan, welcome to the show. Good to have everybody coming in here. And just taking a look here, what's happening. We're just starting out here this evening. Candace Maynor, good to have you with us on Encounters. Down the Rabbit Hole, welcome to the show. Spanky the Great. Deborah, thanks for joining us. Joey Peeps, thanks for the likes. And as time goes on, there's so many people coming in here. Hey. Mr. James, Down the Rabbit Hole. Martha Grant, welcome. Margie, I think it's Margie. I might mess people's names up here or there, but there you go. You know, this is Encounters, the late night spiritual talk show. I'll be out of the hole later. That sounds good. Eat all the carrots you can, James, before you come out of the rabbit hole. You got to make sure you're full. Flippy, welcome to the show. Ron, welcome to the show. Mike, App 480. Lori, good to see you. Welcome. Heart Mom, good to see you, Heart Mom. Daniel, welcome to our show. I like to Tippy Toes. I love that name, Tippy Toes. Hi, everybody. Hey, Tippy Toes. Some people are really creative with the names here, I tell you. You're what? Hey, Starlight, thanks for joining us. AK Nope something. I think it's Up something. Perrier, J. Perrier, Crash Cleansing. I think it's Leon. Let's see, all these wonderful people here. I'm trying to catch all the names. Von Bach, Nancy West, A lot of these good people, a lot of new people coming in here. So I'm going to tell people a little bit about the show here. If you're just coming in here for the first time, this is Encounters, a spiritual UFO talk show, the top spiritual UFO talk show on social media. And we welcome everybody coming in here tonight. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Just to give you a short bio of me. Maybe you've heard of me on TikTok. Maybe you haven't heard of me. But we are busting the matrix here on TikTok and on just the planet Earth. So we're from Mars originally. That's my home planet. I come from Mars originally, born here as a starseed. There's 10 to 15. Hey, Liz, thank you for that. There's 10 to 15 million inhabitants on Mars. I'm also with the Ashtar Galactic Command. I work in Christ consciousness or cosmic Christ consciousness, which is different than Earth-based religion, just so you know the difference. So I work in a very high state of Christ consciousness in everything I do. And the other part is I'm a contactee. So I've been a contactee since the 1960s when I was a kid. I've had numerous spaceship sightings, what people call UFOs, for many, many years. Too many to keep count of. But all my experiences, for the most part, have been very positive. I haven't been abducted. I haven't had any negative contacts. I am not operating in that vibrational pattern or frequency. And I've never had that happen. Although I do know people that, hey, Johnny, good to see you. My brother. Good to have you in, Johnny. My moderators are coming in. Good evening. Good to see you, brother. You're doing a great job on Facebook too, by the way. Also, so is Chesno. So we appreciate it so much, you know. And the other part of it is we do interviews here. So this is an actual show. We don't have challenge debates on different things where some other TikTokers just challenge each other and have fights and all this stuff. And we try to bust the matrix sometimes on TikTok. And we sometimes go into other TikToks and we end up trying to bust the matrix, and it doesn't always seem to go the way we think it's going to go. But Eric Wright, thank you for the lightning bolt. We appreciate it, Eric. I like the Flintstones profile. That's pretty cool. So it's good to have everybody here. And what we do here is we interview people. If you have 200 plus followers, this is a TikTok rule, not mine. If you have 200 plus followers, you can come on live on audio. If you have 1,000, you can do audio, meaning you come on camera like I am, plus your audio, which is important so you can actually talk. The areas that we cover, number one, the protocol of the show, and I'll mention it throughout the evening when new people come in, is that this show is focused on the spiritual UFO subject matter. It could be encounters with sightings of spaceships. It could be that you've had visitations from extraterrestrial or star people from different planetary systems. And a lot of people have. Hey, one Toyota, good to see you. Thank you for the roses. You must be over 18. You can't have any kids on the screen or anything like that. The second thing is no drinking. No drugs, no vaping, no smoking on the screen. If you're really interested in doing that, then you're not interested in telling your story, because then you're addicted more to that than you are to the show. The other thing is no paranormal stuff. There's like at least a dozen or so people on here on TikTok that do paranormal types of shows. This is not a paranormal place. This is a galactic, intergalactic kind of show. And we want to keep it that way, you know. And we want to keep things positive. Your stories might not always be positive about your encounters. That's a whole different thing. That's just because that's the subject of your ET encounters. That's a given. You know, it could be a lot of different things. But in terms of the show, we like to keep the vibrations positive. Although every experience is different, it might not always be that way, and we completely understand that. So those are the rules. Again, just to go over the rules of the interviews on this show: no vaping, no smoking, no drinking, no drugs, no people that are under 18 with kids on the screen, and no paranormal subject matter. We're going to really hone in and try to keep focused on what we do best. My background is on the whole cosmic level. So that's what we deal with here, just so you know. Hey, Pete Star TV, good to see you with us. And, now you have a better idea of what and how this show works. I'm producer and host of the show. I'm also producer. Yeah, no bad words. That's right. I'm also host of, for 21 years, my FM broadcast show on Sunday mornings called Cosmic Eye Ashtar Command Radio. That show for 21 years has been dedicated to our space brothers and sisters of the Ashtar Galactic Command, which are of the highest levels of love and light and Christ consciousness. And that's, we try to bring that same energy here on my TikTok as I do on my radio show for 21 years. So I'm glad to have everybody here. Samurai Rick, our Raven, welcome to the show. Judy White, thanks for the likes. Definitely, keeping it clean. Transcend, you got it. You got it. So that's why we're different. We don't do battles. We don't have people running around with costumes on, like with a clown outfit or a fake cow outfit with disco lights or something like that. We're here to do something serious. We're here to do something that's going to change the planet. We're here to bust the global matrix of this planet down to the core. And that's what we're doing, That's what we're doing that collectively. We're all involved. It's not just me. I'm just the catalyst to push the button, and I push the button all the time. That's what I'm here to do. And New York Rican, Bella Vita, welcome to the show. Michelle O'Brien, hey Michelle He-Man, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us. I see some new names. Good to have you all with us. So if you're new here, this is an actual show where you'll actually be able to participate. Everybody's treated fairly here. We don't yell at people. We don't scream at anybody, and as some of these TikTokers do on their lives. Mario 685, you're new. Hey Mario, welcome to the show. This is I think you'll like it if you're new here. You might even find it home. Opal Star 33, hello there, beautiful. Many blessings, love and light to you. You're doing great work, Opal. In the morning time. Opal's on in the morning time. She's doing some great light work with people and helping them. So we appreciate that. And let's see, Ariba, Sharon 70915. And we're just looking at some of the, hey, gray beard. We have a gray beard in here. Arvel, welcome, Arvel. I think it's Dizzy or Dizzy 155. Thanks for the likes. User 389, welcome. Darlene, thank you for the glowing gel. I haven't seen one of those. That looks pretty cool. Dreamers Paranormal. How you doing, Dreamers Paranormal? Hope you're doing well tonight, everybody. Hope Love Little Butterfly. We love that name. That's really cool. Plus, you got the butterfly there for the little thing. Thank you very much, Opal. We appreciate it. And that's what it's all about. Transcending. Thank you for the disco love. WHF. Thank you for the roses. You folks are just beautiful. Soulrod 888. Hey, Soulrod. Hope you're doing well out there. Jerky, welcome to the show. I didn't get the whole name of what that was. Monessa. Hey, Monessa. J-Man 70. Jeff Webb. I'm just acknowledging some of the, we're just really getting into it here. So welcome. Hey, Cliff, the bearded mountain man. He's from Tennessee. He's got the beard. He's our intergalactic bearded man with the white beard. Hey, Trina. Let's see who else. Dreamer Paranormal. Thanks for the likes. And we're going to have a great show tonight. We really are. And as one of the key things about this show is that it's so spontaneous. I never know who I'm going to bring on here. I really never know. All I know is that there's somebody out here, and probably many more people than I even realize. Hey, Crash, good to have you with us. That have had either, hey, just waking up. That's good. You woke up in time for encounters. Karen 82, good evening. Hey, Karen. Pierre, welcome. Sherman West, welcome to the show. Emmy, hey, glad I didn't miss you. Well, I'm glad you didn't miss me either. I'm glad I didn't even miss me. If I miss me, then I'm in trouble on this show. Then I'll have to look for me, and I don't know where that is. Thomas, welcome to our show Encounters. All the new people coming in here. Glad you're finding the show. Opal Star, thank you for the smiley heart. The heart me, we welcome all that kind of good stuff. User 553. Oh, and Rami, you can certainly ask questions. We are open to questions. And let me just share with people, again, hey, Bonnie, good to see you. Hope, thank you for the heart me. If you wish, Sharp, welcome, Nate. Welcome to the show. I see names that some are familiar and some are new. We love all the new people here because you now can come into a place, relax. Our studios are all over the world. Our studios are wide open. There are seats everywhere. You have, wherever you are on the planet, you have a good seat to watch me. You won't have to look in it with a pair of binoculars and say, I can't see the commander I'm so far away from the staging area, I can't see the command. You can see me. Thank you for the disco love, Hope. Thank you for that. And hey, Ben's Place, are you familiar with spaceship visible on camera? It goes in front of the sun. Smaller ships exit. Well, I can tell you about the sun in general. For years, Ben's Place, great comment. Sprites, thank you for the roses. There are ships, as you get towards sunset, you will see ships that are actually around the sun. And yes, for years that's happened. Like these ships have been cloaked around the sun, and then you can start to see them at a certain angle when the sun goes down. I'm very familiar with that. Very good point. Pete Star TV, I am you, are me, I am you. No, you are me, I am you. We love it. We love it here. So one of the things I've been really looking at is everything that is transcending for everybody, all the things that are transpiring on our planet. Michael S. says, those ships are waiting for a nighttime so they can land. Maybe, but there's a lot of the intergalactic ships that are using the sun for energy. There's many intergalactic ships. It's natural energy for them. The sun has something to do with energizing some of the spaceships, and you'll see that to be the case. We're bringing in encounters to Ben. Welcome to the show, user 227. Lauren, I think it's Lauren, 7 feathered native. Graham, so many new people coming in here. Welcome. James, welcome to the show, brother.
Greetings, Earthlings. We have now taken over your TikTok stream.
Hey, welcome, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, streaming to you live from the Ashtark Man Studios. This is Encounters with CmdrAleon.
And people, say hello to James. When he first came on, we helped him get to 1,000. At the time, I think he needed 1,000. They changed it to 200, but to get the audio. And we've been friends with James forever. I don't even think of time. I've known James for a long time now. So he's been so busy. He comes in and out. But he is our co-host from the original part of the show when we first had a co-host. And we're glad to have him with us. Good evening, James.
Bazinga! Hello. Did you see the video of this UFO that supposedly crashed into the Cessna, the small airplane?
No, where was that happening?
Jawsman posted it. Jawsman, he has 2 accounts. So he goes by Jawsman when he's on the show, but he's got the Sasquatch UFO. Oh, Johnny saw it. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. It might be fake, but I mean, it looks so dang crystal clear.
Does it have like a date on it as to when this happened?
I think it happened yesterday, but it showed the cockpit video, like this UFO just zooming by and hitting the bottom of the plane, and
oh my gosh,
the plane shaking, and then the next screen shows this like UFO roped off and people working on it.
Like it crashed.
Yeah.
And the people working on it, were they military people or who were they?
It didn't show. It didn't show like who was on it, but it did show that it was like roped off, and it was pretty cool.
We have somebody here who's had interesting things. Rami 300. Rami, would you like to come up and share something with us? Rami says, I was visited by a human-like blue hologram. Is he part of the Galactic Federation? Let me bring you up here.
Blue hologram person.
Yeah, let's see what that's all about. Romney, you have to turn your setting from private to public. Romney, turn your setting from private to public on encounters, and I can bring you up here, and our studio audience can hear your story. You got to change your setting.
Grace posted a video today as well. Today, flight from Boston, out of Boston, was reporting seeing UFOs, and another pilot came on and said they saw the same thing. They got the radio chatter and all that.
Does anybody got the video of that?
It's great. Yeah, Grace has it on hers. Grace posted it.
She has the video.
Yep, she posted it on her TikTok.
I want to bring if Grace comes in here, I'm gonna have her come on here about that. I saw her showing the mapping chart of the airline flights about that. What I'm trying to figure out is somebody have any videotaping of these UFOs that were over the Boston area and the flights of the commercial airline jets.
I don't know,
Some
but
really weird stuff is happening in New England.
I was on the phone with one the other day, and I'm out here and I'm looking at the military base, and I'm always out here at night when I'm on with you, and there's not a lot of
Yeah.
activity at nighttime at the base. But the other night they were running like nighttime maneuvers,
Hmm.
and it was kind of funny that they were running nighttime maneuvers with small planes, not jets, but like propeller
Hmm.
planes.
Well, that's crazy. I wonder
Yeah.
what that's all about.
I don't I don't know. I'm even thinking about it even more now. It's like, why would they be launching all these propeller type planes from the base when usually, it's either jets or like those big Coast Guard planes coming in and out.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, though, James? The fact that Grace has that video, I did see it, about the commercial airline pilots both seeing these UFOs the other night or the other day, and that's publicly on their audio recordings. That's pretty amazing, though, isn't it?
Right, right. Yeah, they can't hide
I
it. I mean,
mean,
there's so much technology out there. I mean, they just can't hide it anymore. That
they can't.
disclosure has to happen.
And the airline companies they work for, that this stuff is audio recorded by the public and hears this. What are they going to do? Say, oh, they didn't ever say that? What the airline pilot's going to recant on what they just talked to each other about from one jet to the other? Oh yeah, I see these really weird objects going by us. You know, it's going to happen more and more now. I mean, I bet a lot of pilots are seeing stuff all over the world, and that's only going to increase tenfold as we get closer to what I call the contact period between now and 2027. A lot of pilots are going to see extraterrestrial spaceships or a craft or something that'll be in the skies above them. You know,
Oh yeah.
Nicholas
Nicholas.
Nicholas Glenn says they're good at fooling a lot of people. I'm reading some of the comments here, and again, if you want to be a guest on a show with us and James here, you have to have 200 plus followers. Let's see. Brad's saying any issues or problems with ellipse comet at same time. I'm not sure how to answer that.
Commander, I don't buy into that stuff about
I don't know what that is.
the eclipses that are coming up and
Eclipse? No, that won't affect anything. Those are natural cosmic events that happen all the time.
right. I'm more worried about human based uh, nefariousness than cosmic nefariousness.
Yeah. To Ben, Dr. Wheezy says not just pilots. He's talking about pilots in the air, but also he says I think he's talking about the UFOs in the ocean. We call the
So,
USOs.
people on the boats and stuff. They're
Yeah,
seeing a
yeah, yeah.
lot.
Naval people, commercial boats, they're all seeing them. Any of those cruise ships, you better believe people on cruise ships if they're traveling around the world or in the oceans or seas, there've got to be people that are seeing stuff just all the time. You're right. It's not just the pilots; it's also in our oceans and seas too. Absolutely correct. Um, and one of the things I'm going to say is that it's not going to slow down. New England right now, believe it or not, folks, here in New England, I can't wait to do our CE5 events. The amount of sightings in New England all over has increased tenfold. Now, we haven't been out there. I haven't been out there because it's been too cold to go and look at the stars with our group or see what's up in the skies or anything. But I have a feeling as things increase here, once we do our first C5 live on encounters, we're going to have some activity and we're going to see stuff in both of the events, Grace's event and our event coming the week before that in April. So it's just, hey, Joey, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Ryan Glass, welcome. Every old new people coming in here. This is Encounters. Jonathan, hey, good to see you. Pam, 1961, welcome to our show.
Hey,
Penny, welcome to our show.
I'm
And
thinking
Brad,
about
go ahead.
we're thinking about getting a Florida CE5 going, but it's probably only going to be a CE4 because we're not as advanced.
Well, you know what? Once you do that, what you need to do is join Dr. Stephen Greer's C5 application, and there's a place on networking. Put in the zip code, and you can make contacts with people in that whole area.
I can't network with some of those folks. They want to come into the rabbit hole, and then they think they can invite themselves over for dinner, and
Oh,
before you know it, I got Palladians hanging out in my backyard all night long.
that could be good. Palladians.
I like those Venusians though. They're fun.
Oh, the Venusians, you can have them too. Yeah, that's definitely true. And I know some of you at 167 people here now. How many people have had visitations by star people or space beings? Have you come of the spaceship? And Skin Dogs, are you asking me if I came to Earth on a spaceship, Skin Dog? I think that's what you're asking me. Is that what you're asking me? Courtney, thank you for the tiny Deanie. Last night. Okay. Courtney, thank you for the lightning bolt. So, who has had encounters recently? Who has had encounters with star people directly? Visitations with star people? I want to bring a few people up one at a time, though. Brian, welcome to the show. I know you're a star cat. You have a cat there. Rami, okay, we're going to bring Rami up. I told him to bring him up. He did it. Hey, Rami, good evening. Welcome to Encounters.
Hey, how you doing? You guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Cool,
We
cool,
appreciate you
cool,
coming
cool.
up
Cool,
and
cool.
resetting your setting.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
tell us your story a bit, you know?
I mean, I don't know how far you want me to go back, but um, I mean, since I was a kid, I had like it wasn't encounter, but experiences. Let's say it was like minor. I haven't thought
Uh-oh,
about it a
intro.
lot.
Well, now we want to hear the story, so now you can think about it on
Yeah.
Encounters.
So if we start from the beginning, I remember when I was a child, like when I was really young, I had an experience where I was just sitting and with my family, we're just talking about random stuff, and I suddenly uh, lost every connection to the outside world. I didn't see anything. It was like a TV screen just turned off, and I can hear my voice. I can't see anything. All I see is like the buzz. When it's like when you turn off a TV. Have you heard? You see the buzz like uh,
Right.
uh, dark screen, nothing there, just
Hmm.
white and blue and white and black dots on the screen. There's nothing and
Hmm.
just buzzing. That's what I felt. I don't know how long I stayed in this condition. I'm trying to scream, yell, and I can't even hear my own voice. And then suddenly I came back to reality. I'm like, okay, that was a weird experience. So that's one of the experiences that I had. Now I don't know what it was. It's like I was connected to some simulation matrix or something. And I got disconnected
Hmm.
and got connected back in. So it was kind of weird. Um, yeah, but that was a long time ago. Um, After that, I had another experience. Um, I would say it was experience, but also felt like the happiest time of my life. It's like this bliss and joyful feeling. I was just sleeping and
Hmm.
I suddenly watching all the colors of the universe, but within me. Like I'm not
Hmm.
looking outside,
Hmm.
I'm looking within myself, and I see all the
Your own
colors and like
self.
this blissful feeling. I'm
Hmm.
not sure. Some call it, I believe, Nirvana, state of Nirvana.
State of
Happened
Nirvana.
only
Okay.
once. Could have been it. Could have been something else. I don't know. It just experience that I have been trying to repeat ever since because it has
Hmm.
such a joyful and blissful feeling I never had before.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. I remember I used to pray and go to church a lot. I wasn't really religious, but I just like to go to church a lot, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But then after that, I had a time where I stopped going to church and stuff. I started getting busy on my work and school and college, university. I got graduated and things. I'm not saying things were getting great. It's just part of life. I got involved in life more
Right.
than the spirituality, right? And almost
Right.
forgot about everything. And then suddenly, like a couple months back, where I started getting like thinking a lot, and you can say like I got some depression and stuff, I'm looking at the state of the world and how things are
Hmm.
going, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's the can be right. I mean, there must be something more. There must be some goodness in this world. So
Right.
that's when I got back into reading the Bible and everything, and getting real religious and going to church and everything. And during this time, I had so many experiences. Like within a month, like I see like 10 things happening and hear voices, visions, numbers popping up in my face. I don't know what it was.
Hmm.
Um, uh, One time I had a big light shining on my face. I don't know what it was. Actually, not one time, a couple
Did you say you
times,
had a
right?
big light? Did you say you had a big light shine in your face?
Yes. Like I'm gonna sleep on my bed and like big light shining on my face. I don't know what it
Let me
was.
stop you at a moment. So the light that was shining in your face, because there's a lot of stuff being told here. When you had that light shining in your face, what did you get from that? What did you feel from that?
Okay, one time I felt like it was the presence of Jesus, and the other time, I don't know what it was,
Hmm.
and I think he was calling me or something, and for some reason, I wasn't in control. It was more like my subconscious talking, not me, and I told the light that I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready yet.
Yes.
What and why do you think you told the light you're not ready yet? What context? It's interesting
I,
you said that. What context
yeah,
was that in relationship to?
I guess I had some attachment to the worldly things.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Are you
it's like
saying
I
that
was
you were not
detached from
ready
the
yet to
world,
leave? You weren't ready to leave the planet?
No,
something
Commander.
like that.
Commander, when people are going through, these the spiritual awakening,
Yeah.
um, when we are presented with source, we do,
Hmm.
some of us, not all of us are as enlightened as you, Commander. So some of us, when we're exposed to that type of energy or
Yeah.
feeling, it it's a fear, but it's not fear because, like you said, there's nirvana and happiness involved,
That's right.
but
You're right.
it's the fear of, oh my gosh, when I take this leap of faith, there's no
Yes.
going back. And
That's right.
Yes.
You're
so,
exactly
like
right.
he said,
It's not
he
like he
was
was dying. It's
attached to his 3D because he
right.
knows
I got
once he
you.
goes
It was
into into that, there's no coming back
right.
for
That's
Rami.
absolutely correct. Yep. You got it, James. That's absolutely true. Yeah. So you're basically what it was. It wasn't that you were afraid. It was now you're being given an option to leap forward from where you used to be to something totally different. So I completely get it, Rami.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's raises a question for me. Like, what do you guys think? Should I have taken this leap or not? Like thinking back, I think, you know what? Maybe I should have taken that leap. I don't know why I
Well,
didn't, but part of me
Rami,
says, I should
man,
have.
we everything happens for divine timing, right? So if you're not ready, you're not ready. Your spirit knows you're ready. Your spirit would have guided you through that if it was time. So you have to
Mm.
look at it that maybe there was, just some more reflection or more self-evaluation that needed to be done for that. So next time when the opportunity presents itself for that massive download, you're going to be ready for it. Whereas before, you had trepidation,
Hmm.
something holding you back, and that's never a good way to start a process. So, with that being said, don't worry about the timeline. Just make sure that you're ready next time.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, and like you said, like to, I, a good thing you said that your spirit wasn't ready because, like you said, it wasn't like me talking. It's more like was my subconscious, like something within me was talking. It wasn't me. That's the feeling that I had, and I'm
Hmm.
glad that I didn't go because I'm not glad not didn't go, but I'm glad that I gained more experience afterwards.
Mm-mm.
I became more balanced. Uh, because after that I had this time when I start contemplating a lot about things. Like I didn't just stop at the Bible. I start expanding my consciousness into other religions, into science, into I delve deeper. Um, I start making this connection between spirits and aliens and consciousness and nirvana, and
Wow.
so it was yeah. So I grew much more afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
and but that wasn't the only reason that helped me grow. Some other encounters helped me do that too. Uh, I think I messaged you a couple times
Yes.
about well, a being came to me, right? I don't know how it looked like. I only heard a voice, all right,
Of
and
course.
that voice it came to me three times. The first time, he would just to reassure me or give me comfort. He didn't say much. He just came to me and he said, "You're my son." Okay, it's like
Hmm.
I think it was very comforting,
Yeah.
it gave me like some motivation and stuff, like I'm not
Oh,
left out, I've been washed over, something like that. So that was a really good feeling.
Oh
And
wow.
afterward, yeah, and afterward I had two other visits, uh, similar being. I can tell by the voice and the feeling that I had when
mm-hmm.
he presented himself. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
see him. He usually comes from the back and he speaks in the back of my head. I can
Mm.
feel him like touching or over my head, but it doesn't allow me to see him. It's like,
Rami,
uh,
Mm-hmm.
wait. I gotta
yeah,
slow you down, and I'm not
sure,
trying to interrupt you, but
sure,
I
sure.
want I just want to get context for the viewers.
Mm.
When this is happening, are you laying down? You said he was behind you. Are you sitting in a chair
Yes,
watching
yeah. I
TV?
was laying on my right
Put us in
side.
the room.
I
Oh,
was
okay. So
laying
you're
on my
laying
bed
on
on
the
my right
bed.
side.
Okay, and then so
On the
from
right side.
behind you, you feel the presence.
Yes.
But you could hear it. But you could hear him talking with your ears or in your head.
On my left ear. Like I feel him
Wow.
like mostly on my left ear, like wasn't inside my head. It could have been in my head. I'm not sure, but mostly felt in my left ear, and I feel like a breath. It's not
Oh
just
my
sound; it's
gosh.
just breath, and the sound is like it's not scary, but it's so deep. Has so much resonance to it. It's like if he yells a little bit more, he could blow my ears out. That's how it feels like. Um,
Mm.
um, yeah. So that's the sound that I felt. Yeah. So the first time it was just comforting. He said, "You're my son," and the second time, he started talking to me and giving me these revelations and warning about it didn't make sense to me. It just I'm gonna try to describe it as much as I could. He warned me about the
Mm-hmm.
social security number, and he says it's mark of the beast, and you have to destroy it. And if you don't, then you're heading to the best. And don't heed from my words. Um, I don't know what it was. And during when he was speaking, it's not just the sound that I'm hearing. I'm also
Mm-hmm.
seeing visions, like visions. They come and go. It's like someone using his breath to breathe words into the air, and
Hmm.
like I'm seeing white cloud, and on this white cloud, the blue ink is making these writings and numbers. Um,
Hmm.
it was really really experience. Like,
Hey, wait,
uh,
Rami,
yeah,
I just gotta ask. There's never,
yeah,
'cause this is fascinating to me, Commander.
Yeah, me too.
I've never heard of contact like this, and it's almost
Me
like
neither.
you remember Gabriel and his experience, how just so unique it was, and how
Yeah.
you know it's just stuff like this to me, Rami, is so fascinating because some people, first off, I've never heard of contact like this, so it's a beautiful experience that
Me
you're
neither.
having. But um, I wanted to know when you were like when this was happening. Did like the temperature in the room change? Was there any? I know you said you had a feeling of happiness and calmness, but while
Yeah.
you're
that was
seeing
before. That was a different experience.
Oh, okay. So
Difference. Okay. So.
Before
when
that
you're
was a
seeing this
fear.
writing, when you're seeing this
Mhm.
writing and stuff, was there any what was the feeling when that was happening? Because that's
Fear.
a
Yeah.
that's a download, but you're also it's personifying itself in your vision.
Yes.
Right.
I felt like terror or fear. It wasn't very great. It just I didn't feel like loving, let's say.
And the reason I'm asking, Commander, is because we're trying to figure out whether this is, is he getting a human contact? Is he getting,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure out.
yeah. I don't want to cut you out, but I'll give you the third visit that he visited me, so that can complete the picture for
Okay.
you. Yeah. So I said
Okay.
the second visit was just a voice, like it was around 5:30 in the morning. So because after he comes to me, I look at the watch and see what the time is and what
Yeah.
made things happen. I start thinking about what could make the catalyst that made this
Mm.
event or this visit happen. So, yeah. Anyway, so I had the second visit was a voice, and I saw some words, and it's like he's writing on on white cloud with ink. Anyway, so after he gave me
Mm.
this revelation, I start thinking about it a lot, and I start praying. I'm like, what is that? Is he evil? Is he good? Is he alien, devil? Someone astral projecting and playing tricks on me? I don't know what it is. So
Mm.
I waited, and then I believe so. I went to the church and I spoke to the pastor. He never got back to me. I think he got confused also. So after 2 days, about the same time, I was mostly like waiting. I'm like, you know what? He came to me
Mm.
2 times. He's probably gonna come a third. So let me just wait and see.
Mm.
And this time I was thinking, should I just wake up and try to look him in the face, and or just sit down and listen and question it?
Mm.
So I don't know what. I didn't make a decisive decision anyway. So I waited, and it did show up. I was sleeping, and then I wasn't fully asleep, but I started feeling this presence, like he's coming again, because you know the feeling, like there's something crawling under your skin, like
Right.
something is near you, something is coming, something like, okay, there's a weird energy going on. I think that's him. Okay,
Mm.
so as soon as I felt this feeling, I took a deep breath, and I wake up right away, and I saw him face to face, and we just met face to face, and it was
Really?
yeah, and it was like uh, blue hologram. It's like human-like blue hologram, like the one you see in science fictions, blue
Yeah, like a
holograms.
blue hologram. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was like human-like. So I looked at
Human.
it. Yeah. So I didn't say anything. I just looked at him. I was shocked. I wasn't terrified. I was just shocked, and I
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of thoughts, of course, going in my head. What is that? Is it spirit, Holy Spirit, ghost, devil? I don't know. Um,
Do
someone
you know? Do
astral
you know? Let
projecting.
me
I don't know.
let me stop you for a minute. So the blue
Yeah.
hologram coming on to the show. I got to ask some some questions.
Yeah.
You got a lot of
Sure. Sure.
information downloaded here.
Sure.
So the blue the blue hologram to me, if you look at like Star Wars, you remember some of those things where they have the hologram of Luke
yeah, did it look
Skywalker,
like
one of them,
that?
and
Hmm. Actually, I
it's a
never seen
hologram
Star
of an
Wars. Like,
actual.
never fan of the franchise. I never see the movie. Yeah.
That's okay. But
Yeah.
in the movie there is what they call a hologram. It comes up on a. They press a button. The hologram shows the Luke Skywalker, or one of them, and
Yeah.
they're
I can
talking in
tell
the
you.
hologram.
Yeah, I can tell you. Like the hologram didn't have any colorings. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't show any colorings. It just show a figure of a human. Like,
Okay,
it's
Human.
like
so
a
Okay.
mannequin. It's like a mannequin, blue
I
mannequin.
was gonna say, was it clear? Could you see through it, or was it
Yes,
solid?
clear, clear.
Okay,
Hmm.
Commander,
What do you What do you think?
when Rami, you said something that really struck with me, and I appreciate your effort of being thorough, because you said somebody astral projecting and messing with you.
Could be. I don't know.
And I mean, geez, and it sounds like you almost had, and so that when you saw the being face to
Mm.
face, it was the same feeling, same voice as the other ones, correct?
Yeah, actually, he never spoke. The third time, it's like he almost got shocked or mad or confused. I don't know what it was, the feeling
Huh.
that I had, but I can see the figure on his face like start changing, and it wasn't changing a lot. It's like a human. He's like, I don't know if it was surprised or disappointed. I don't know what I couldn't make a thing of it.
You're
And
talking about the hologram, correct?
Yes, yes,
So it
yes,
was
Hmm.
and
so it had a reaction to you looking at it.
yes.
And the
I couldn't
reaction
make a
wasn't like give you a hug.
Did you?
no.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't
transcending is
friendly.
right.
Like I'm not sure if it's friendly. I couldn't make anything of it to be honest with you. Like I don't know if it was mad or disappointed or
So let me
doesn't
ask
want
you a
me to see
question.
him or yeah,
Let me ask you a question.
or
Forgetting the
maybe just
religious
worried.
aspect.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. When these things happen now or in the future, then if you watch my show long enough, one of the things I'm proactive in, and I do in my workshops, is I'm talking about cosmic Christ consciousness. So did you ask the holographic thing that was there? Are you representing? Do you believe in Christ consciousness? Are you Christ consciousness? And that's a good way to right off the bat figure out where they're going and where they're coming from. Did
Yeah.
you even try to do
Here's the
that, or what
problem.
happened?
Here's the problem. As soon I look at him, and I told you, like he start changing his face. I don't know what to make of it.
Hmm.
He start fading
Hmm.
away. He start slowly
Really?
fading away. Yeah, fading away into existence. Just start fading away. And as he fading away, I sense that he's fading away. So I'm like, you know what? Stop. So I reached out like, stop, don't go, because I want to know information. Like that's the reason why.
Right.
That's my first reaction because I want to know
Hmm.
what I'm dealing with, right?
Right.
And he just faded away and never seen him
Hmm.
afterwards. Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm listening very carefully, and James, you tell me what you think. Uh, I would say, forgetting your religious background, do you ever do meditation, like a Christed meditation, on a regular basis, or put yourself in a Christ conscious state?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not. Let's.
You don't
Okay.
do
I
that.
have. It's not. It's not a meditation where I sit down like yoga, like sort of sit down like that. But I had this feeling while I do breathing exercises.
There you go. Yeah, that counts.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
So
counts.
breathing
Yeah, breathing
exercise. So I
exercise.
just
Even
not take
even prayer in the
breathing.
religious sense works.
Yeah. I pray. I pray multiple times and I do breathing
Hmm.
exercises and
Okay.
I do some sun gazing a little bit, and
Hmm.
but not meditation where I just sit down or
No
visualize
problem.
or take no
So,
thoughts.
so, so,
But
so
yeah,
here's a simple thing for you. I'm going to make it so simple. It's something you can do without going and struggling with it. So from here on in, just think of your home as a Christed spaceship. And in that spaceship, you have a bubble around your whole home. And also your bodysuit, your human body that you are in, you put a Christed bubble around your whole body. You are a Christed being of light. You are a Christed bubble of light. You're in human form. You are a Christed bubble of light. So when you put your bubble around you and around your home, wherever you go, you are surrounded by that bubble. And there's nothing other than light energy that can attract to you and be with you. Any other energies, now that you put that bubble on starting tonight, I want you to repeat after me this one thing. I am a Christed bubble of light. Say that.
I am a crusted bubble of light. I am a
Say it
crusted bubble
again
of
with
light.
vigor.
I am a
You are.
crusted bubble
You
of
are.
light. Yeah,
You
but
got it.
yeah,
So
but
now,
the thing is, I wasn't like afraid of it. I was like actually
no, I know.
excited afterward. Yeah,
Well, that's
because
good.
because I
The
felt like you
reason
know what, if he has something to say, he should have said it,
All right.
right? Instead of fading away, right? And that's not the whole experience. Like things doesn't didn't end over there. Because if you want to say something, go ahead, and afterward I'll
Right.
I was
continue. Yeah.
just gonna say that Commander was what he's trying to get you to do for your next contact is to ascertain its intention and
Right.
whether it's a good being or something human or a gray or something
Right.
like that, because it is very important for you to know what type of entity, especially now when we're in the time of ascension. There's
Right. That's right.
tricksters everywhere trying to throw us off. But so yeah, I would never beg to offer that I know what the heck you've got going on, because this is amazing. So
Yeah, it
anyway,
is amazing.
continue. Let's hear more. He's got more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I mean, like I never seen any of these type like the grays or any of those
Hmm.
type. I was expecting to see these type of things, but I didn't see none of them, which made me surprised. Could have been because I'm watched over, protected. I'm not sure. That could have been the reason. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so afterwards, took me like maybe I don't know, a couple days to a week when I start really praying to Jesus, like, you know what, just let me know, guide me. I don't know what I saw, if he's real, if he's good, bad, I don't know. So I one day it was like a dream, but it was like real dream. It was different. This time was different. So I had like four dreams. One dream, the first three dreams, they kind of, I mean, they looked like a dream, but the fourth one was like more real. So the first dream was like short dream, was like me and a friend of mine, we slaying two dragons or multiple head dragons, something like that. It was kind of weird dream. Afterward, I had this thing where I'm sitting on a beach and someone like a figure, human figure, sitting next to me, and he said, "Why did you do that?" Now I don't know what he meant. And then third dream was like me, some weird clothes, some ancient clothes. It's more like maybe some past life. I don't know. Yeah, and probably it's more like Eastern type of clothes, more Middle Eastern type of clothes. I don't know what it is. So yeah, it was like me and a person. I don't know if it was a servant or something, and some old woman. Seemed like the old woman seemed really evil, and the servant seemed really afraid, and he's taking cover behind my back, and he's like, "Help me, help me, please don't let her take me." And so I'm like, "Okay, don't worry, I'll do what I can." And then the dream stopped. They couldn't finish the dream.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the fourth dream, that's what confused me. Like until this day, I'm still thinking about it a lot. I wake up in this weird room, and I look, and there's multiple beds beside me on left and right, and there's people sleeping in these beds, and everyone wearing a white cloth.
Right.
Everyone wearing a white cloth, and then lady opens the door. She was wearing black, young lady, and she told me, "You know what? Jesus is waiting for you downstairs. Go and meet him." So I'm like, okay. So I start going down the stairs, and these stairs was like spiral.
Spiral. Okay.
Spiral. It wasn't like straight. It was just like a spiral, right?
You what?
I said I can see it. I can see it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally get it.
And my thoughts were, there was a lot of thoughts going in my head while I'm going down the stairs. First, I'm like, who's that woman over there? And this name Mary comes up into my mind. I don't know if it was Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of Jesus. I don't know who it was. Anyway, so I'm thinking, have I done something wrong? Is there something that I haven't confessed yet? Is there something I've done that could have angered? Am I dead? Am I alive? I don't know. So I'm thinking and I'm thinking. I'm like, you know what? So while I'm going downstairs, like I see Jesus all the way down, and he's like looking at a fireplace. There's like fireplace burning. He's just looking at it. He's just waiting for me. So eventually, before I get to him, like, you know what? I don't know what to do. All I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna say anything, because I don't know what he called me for. I'm just gonna listen. That's my thought process. I'm like, I'm just gonna listen. If I did something wrong, can he tell me he did something wrong, and I accept it? If he gave me some guidance, then I'll listen to it. So yeah. I'm just like ready to accept whatever. Like, everything is beyond my control right now. I just gotta put my faith in him and listen. Yeah.
And for people coming in here, just let them know that he's talking about a dream right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I get to him and I tell him, "Yes, Lord." That's all I said. "Yes, Lord." So he turns around and looked at me and he had like a cross, wooden cross in his hand. He was holding a wooden cross, and that wooden cross, there was like ropes all around it. Yeah, all around it, and he pointed at it and he said, "You don't need that." Now,
Oh.
then the dream just went away, and I just whoop, I'm back
Mm-hmm.
in my bed, and I wake up and I start thinking about it. Took me a long time. I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I had many
Rami,
thoughts. Yeah.
Mm.
were the robes color purple?
No, I don't believe so. It was, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, more like brown or gray. I don't remember exactly, to be
Brown or gray.
honest. Green,
Okay.
brown, gray. I
Mm.
don't remember exactly.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, um. Yeah. So I started thinking about it a lot. Like, first thought, I'm like, you know what? I got rejected. He doesn't want me
Yeah.
anymore. And then I start thinking, you know what? Maybe uh, let me think what I did before that dream.
Mm-hmm.
And before that
Okay.
dream, I was uh, reading a lot into other religion about aliens, about manifestation, about
Mm-hmm.
awakening, about how to raise my energy, my
Mm-hmm.
vibration, to get connected to Nirvana, Kingdom of God,
Yeah.
Jesus, God, whoever, you know. Because after the three counters that I told you about the blue hologram, I start getting to that stuff more because I want to find out what's really going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I start practicing raising my vibration with that. So part of me, when I was doing these things, was worried like I might anger Jesus, I might anger God, might doing these things might anger Him. So
Huh.
after putting the two things together, I'm just thinking that's what he meant. Probably he meant, you know what, don't make Christianity like a bondage.
Whoa.
Right.
I mean, let me
That
tell you.
that's my final
That's
thought,
interesting.
but I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure. But that's the best thing I could come up with.
Well, the thing here, and this is encounters, just let people know we're at 33.7 thousand likes. We want to get everybody in here to tap. One of the things, we'll take a little mini break. We're going to come back to Romney in a second and James. So please support what we're doing here on the show by liking us, liking the show in general. We're at almost, we want to get to over 100,000 likes by midnight. Not by midnight, by 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going to 1 a.m. So please do that, and we appreciate everybody that's coming here, all the new people. Just to give people a background what our show is, we do interviews like we're doing with Romney, and he's just been a great guest. And to be a guest, you have to have 200 plus followers or 1,000 followers for audio and video. And the show, we deal with the whole thing of contact with ETs and also UFO and disclosure. And now we're going to go back to Romney. I just had to take a little mini break here for a second. Rami, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my final thought process. Maybe he's telling me like, you know what, don't worry, keep exploring, keep learning. Don't make Christianity or Bible or the thing they told you in the church as a bondage. because
Right.
because that time, even though I was practicing and learning and experimenting, I was still going to the church. I'm going to a Catholic church, and before, of course,
Mm-hmm.
they're not really into exploring other things, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you know they have their own, let's say, a bit of rigid belief. Let's say they're not into exploring other things. So I think he's just give me comfort and give me like the green card. It's like, you know what, you don't have to worry about these things. Um, yeah. So afterwards, um, I didn't. Of course, at the beginning, I didn't come up with this thoughts. At first, I thought like it was rejection or something. Afterward, I went to Israel, to the Holy Land.
Yeah.
I Yeah, and a month after I went to the Holy Land, I started praying, and the thing is, what I noticed over there, even though I visit a lot of religious sites, and I
Mm-hmm.
went to the Holy Land, the Basilica, the places where supposedly Jesus was born, um,
Mm-hmm.
all these visitation, and the thing is, I was thinking like, if I go visit this place, I'll have more visitation or have more dreams or have more encounters because I almost
Mm-hmm.
got addicted, to be honest with you. Like, I want to see more, I want to know more. So I'm like, you
Right.
know what? I'll go to the end of the earth just to find out what's going on, right? So going there, I actually didn't feel like any closer to God or
Right.
anywhere I want to go. Like, didn't feel that at all. Um, it felt like when I put the whole thing together, it felt like it was almost a warning. Like Jesus didn't even just warn me that green light about exploring. He also giving me green light. You know what? Like it's not about that. It's not about visiting these places. It's
Right.
something within you, right? So, but I already went there, and it was a fun trip. It wasn't everything bad. It wasn't waste. But I feel like I didn't really need it. Like
Right.
whatever
You don't.
I
So
need was already within me.
that's exactly right. This is where, Romney, it's important. So one of the things I do here to help people is I say, whether you're Jewish, I came up in the Jewish tradition, but I'm from Mars, and I woke up after I had my encounters when I was a kid, is that it shakes your reality. All the things, whatever people's religions are, the one thing that can hold you down is religion. And I tell people, I don't care if it's a Bible, I don't care if it's the Quran, I don't care if it's whatever it is that you read. Once you get rid of all those things that are Earth 3D religion stuff, God is everywhere. God's within you. God's within every person in this room. God's all over the place. God's in the whole universe. God created everything. You don't need a church or a temple to find God. You just have to go within yourself, and you'll see that God's within everybody, right?
Good, good. That's on point. That was on point. And also notice something else. After contemplating a lot about what happened, all the experience that I had, is that the times when I did a lot to please God, I didn't see Him. But
Hmm.
I usually, the most time that I saw Him, it was when I was really humble, when I was really pleading for mercy and uh, needing His help or His
Hmm.
blessing. That's
Hmm.
when He showed Himself to me, right? And uh, it was more like a feeling. Not everything was experienced. More like a feeling that
Right.
He was there with me. So uh, I think being humble is the best way to get connected to God. Like, do whatever you can do. Do as much good as you can. Just at the end of
Hmm.
it, if you're not humble, uh, that's not gonna please God at all.
Well, God is all. Let me just expand on God on the show here. So God is really about love. God is about life. God is about, um, you know, being in a Christed consciousness. God looks at everything. God creates just an enormous amount of love. What ends up happening is, at least for Earth, people who are created by God, everybody's created by God. All the space people are created by God. All the different planets, universes, galaxies, if you want to expand it to a whole realm, everywhere, all the flowers, all the trees, all the mammals, all the animals, all the fish in the sea, dolphins, whatever it is, it's all created by the Creator. So you can't ever displease the Creator, because the Creator is only creating things out of love. What happens is, when human beings on Earth are created, we've forgotten, sometimes have forgotten the connection to Source, which is God. And because we forgot that connection, we created all kinds of messes on this planet for billions of years on and off. And in current human history, the things that we have done, our scientists have done, and things to the planet have not been things that, the Creator would have done to any planet. We, as humans, in a 3D mentality, not all of us, but those that created the nuclear bombs and all these things, were not thinking about what they were doing, because, they were doing things that were going to be destructive to the creation of a planet called Earth. So when you talk about all these things, your stories are so beautiful to express where your journeys have been. And I think, so I'm reading your energy. Have you found yourself coming to a center point of knowing that you are part of the whole, and you're not like, it doesn't matter what your religion was, that the religion is the thing that could potentially prevent you from really being connected to that Christ consciousness and to the universal understanding of God, who created all the all the different beings in the universe. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Yes, exactly. Good thing you pointed that out, because you're right. That's what I got to eventually. Um, Probably that's the pinnacle of my learning until now. Is that it's part of the harmony. You gotta harmonize
Hmm.
with the universe. Universe is more like a quantum dance, and instead of all about you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Everything happening through you, within you, and around you. Like it's not just about you. I believe that's why Jesus and even the Old Testament, when they ask about God name, or they ask Jesus like, "Who are you?" and they tell him, they tell the people, "I am that I am," meaning I am the one that without ego. I have no name. I am everywhere. I am love and compassion. I'm
Right.
everything that you want to think of. I'm not
That's right.
limited. And I
I
think that's the
am
battle
that
of
I am.
humanity.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the battle of humanity is against our ego mostly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have ego, then you don't have attachment, and if you don't have the attachments, then you'll be free.
Right.
So I am that I am. So you're just part of the harmony. It's not about you, like you said.
You got it. See, you got it, Romney. You got it. That's what it's all about. That's it. Right there. Do you have any crystals, like selenite crystals in your house, Romney?
Actually, I had and I threw it away.
Oh,
After I had
you need
visited by the blue thing, and I threw it away. I
uh,
think maybe that's the reason he left. I'm not sure.
you need to get some selenite crystals. Go to a place where they have just really good crystals and get selenite slabs. They're like long horizontal slabs of crystals. They're not expensive, and put them. Do you have like a meditation room or a room that you would have for
Yeah,
yourself
yeah,
to just
yeah,
center?
yeah,
You do.
yeah.
Get some selenite and get some amethyst cathedrals, little ones, and put those two things there will amp up the frequencies in your house and in that room tenfold.
Appreciate it. Um,
Yeah,
can I
absolutely.
share one more thing?
Oh, go right ahead. Go ahead. We want to
Yeah,
hear another
yeah,
story for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So yeah, so, after that, I got heavily into practicing like even meditation. Oh yeah, actually I had the same one. Actually, they had almost the same one, then I threw it
Oh,
away. I don't
that's
know.
beautiful crystal
Yeah,
there, James. I didn't.
I had almost the same one. I don't know. I threw it away. I don't know. I felt like it was a bad energy. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I think everything is within you. It might help. I don't know, but I don't know about that. Anyway, so after start getting heavy into meditation, contemplating,
Yeah.
and thinking, exploring, these feeling like these zaps on top of my head, zaps like electric zaps, like in the middle of my brain. Like sometimes when I start sitting and reading or trying to lay down and I feel these zaps on my brain. It's like I'm not sure if I'm sending signal, uploading or downloading. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know. I haven't felt it for almost like 2 weeks now. So I don't know. Have you had any encounters like that or heard something like
Uh,
that?
well, for me, it's all different because things weirdly are cosmically happening with me every day now. My body is amped up in a high frequency, and I affect everything around me. So I'm totally in a different. For me, it's just an amped up energy. Like when I go near my electronics, I affect everything. I affect everything in a good way. It's just that I'm amped up with so much energy now with what's happening with with the confirmation of the ascension process of our bodies. Our bodies are now being affected. Some people by the ears, the body, the whole thing is happening for a lot of people. I'm sure some of you out here watching this are being affected by the energies too.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
everybody has different download ticks. Like
Yeah.
I'll get the ringing in the ear. Some people get the pain in the back of their neck. Some people get the jolt of lightning feeling. I think everybody's vibrational pattern determines how you're gonna feel your download.
Yeah, absolutely. It's different for every person in here. I'm sure some people are having the same thing, but I would probably admit that every individual watching this is having something going on right now. In the last month or so, things have been amped up in their bodies. They can't figure it out, and you don't have to totally figure it out. But if you do figure it out, you can definitely assimilate that energy and center it once you do that.
That's good. Yeah, actually, ringing in my ear probably happened once. It was really, it wasn't like heavy feeling. It's like vivid, but mostly like the
Hmm.
zaps. That's what I felt the most. Um,
Hmm.
Also, I don't know if you can help me with that, but I got a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the end times, and uh, do you know like if there's any plans or
let
from the
me.
Galactic
You
Federation,
asked
this
me.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't even focus on the Galactic Federation. I focus on the Ashtar Galactic Command, and I have my cat here, which is Missy, and I have a feeling she's going to want to go on camera in a few minutes, but we'll hold off. Missy, be careful. So here's my whole thing about the end times. That's basically a religious thing, and I don't believe in an end time, but I will tell you in a cosmic understanding of what the ending of time is. It's the ending of time. We live in time. Everything we do is in time. Like, what time is it? I got to go to work. I got to go to lunch. I got to get to the office meeting. Everything on earth is about time. The ending of time, I've actually decoded what that is. I'm going to tell you what the ending of time is. It's the ending of the way we live. The way we're living now is the ending of time. The beginning is the beginning of us being galactic citizens with our space brothers and sisters from other planetary worlds. So that's the beginning without time. We're ending, we're ending, we're ending the time that we're in. We're going to be ending time, but we're not in an end time. Like the ending of time, religious says the ends of time is the end of the world. There's no ending of the world. That's a 3D thing. I've decoded all of that. So when we end this time, we're going to graduate into our planet, into cosmic citizens of the universe. That's what's happening. We're not ending anything. We're just ending and moving beyond time. Absolutely right, Solomon. Going beyond time. And give me 1 second here. We're going beyond time, and we're going to be living in a much different vibrational pattern than we do now. So the ending of time, when people have doom and gloom things about the ending of time, those are all 3D religious people. They don't understand that the ending of time is the ending of the way we've been living, going into a different vibration where we're living without time. We're leaping into a different vibrational pattern. That's what it is.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate the question. No one's ever asked me that. You're the first one to actually ask me that question. And you know what?
Yeah, that was a
I
lot
didn't read
helpful. Yeah.
I didn't read any websites. I didn't go to any Google searching on this. I'm downloaded with information. I don't need any information from any websites or people. I can give you the information here because I have it downloaded in my consciousness from off planet. So that's why I'm able to give you this information.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, I heard something like that before. There is this some YouTube channel. I think it's called The Soul Next Level, something like that. And uh,
Huh.
yeah, and they spoke about the same thing. It's like there's like two paths. Humanity gonna go through two paths. One is like uh, higher dimension, and some people will just
Right.
stay within the same dimension. Um, Now I'm not sure where we exactly. Some people they say that we actually on the fourth, we go into fifth. Some people say we're on the third,
So
going to
so
the fourth.
let me clarify that for because that's a good question. So I don't go by channels. I don't believe in channeling, so I kind of leave that out of the picture. So I'll give you some examples. So there are many dimensions. There are many different dimensions that exist. Like if you look at the dimension we're in, we were in a third dimensional reality, but we're now in a different frequency, vibrational reality. What does that mean? That means that we are now facilitating ourselves to go into a higher state of Christ consciousness. Why is that important? Well, if we're in cosmic Christed consciousness, we're going to be at the same realm of consciousness that our star family is in. When all of us operate in that same vibrational pattern of the star beings that are brothers and sisters, then once we operate in that way, we will now see each other. We will visibly see each other. We'll be with each other. We'll embrace each other. And that's what we're going into. So it has nothing to do, there are many dimensions, too many dimensions to even state, but there are many, many dimensions in the universe. And we're just going into our level of consciousness to meet space brothers and sisters who are already vibrating. The planet Earth is now vibrating at a certain level where we can now see all these spaceships because we're now vibrating at that level where we're supposed to be.
Yep. Yeah, that's some point.
Does
Yeah,
that,
that's helpful. That's helpful.
yeah, do you,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, just to let you know, it's all
All right.
good.
Yeah.
Everything that's going to be happening is all good.
All right, guys. I'm really thankful. I thank everyone for hearing my stories and experiences. I might have took a long time, but I appreciate you guys'
No,
patience
you're
and
good.
thank you for everything and all the help. And I'll stay over here for a while, watch you guys while you answer other questions just to learn more. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
Thank you
everybody,
so
give a
much.
hand for
Yeah,
Thank
Romney.
your
you.
Yeah,
story was
really,
amazing.
it
Thank
was
you.
amazing. Thank you, Romney. Thanks for the questions too. Everybody, thank Rami. James, he was great, wasn't he?
Man, when you thought you heard it all,
Right.
you hear something new.
That's the
And
beauty of it, you know.
I think we're not going to get any answers on his contact until he gets some more answers.
Right. He needs to get the answers first. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, because he might be having multiple things happening
Yeah.
because it does sound like he is having a divine experience for sure.
Yeah. I can definitely hear that in the story.
But the whole that hologram thing, that's
Yeah.
some next level stuff right there.
It really is. And then when he said hologram, the only thing I can give him is that it sounds like more space oriented with the hologram. It would be at that point. I think he's having contact with people representing another planet, but I didn't get any grasp on who that is. But I did get enough information that that hologram was definitely technically transmitting an image that was from
Maybe it
probably
was
some
something
starfish.
from Project Montauk.
No, I wouldn't be that. I know people have a good imaginations on the show here, but I'm getting it was probably something coming from another level that maybe it'll happen again. We'll find out. And, when he has more information, he knows he's always welcome to share it with us.
Listen, the way that the cosmos and the dimensions work, for all we know, there's a little kid, ET in a fifth dimension, who's like, they're playing truth or dare with their friends, and they're like, hey,
Right.
why don't I dare you to phase into the 3D and go mess with those 3D humans?
That's right. Let's see what we can do with Romney, and we'll just have a little game in our starship and send the transmission over in a hologram to him.
Well, it's what to me was so interesting
Yeah.
about it was you know, his inner self having a battle with, the religious part of it.
I heard a
And
lot
I
of that
totally
too. Yeah.
get that. I totally understand that. And I
Yep.
think that um the message that he was given of the Jesus and it being Jesus was there, but him holding the cross and saying you don't
Right.
need that because the
Right.
cross is a single representation on in the religious aspect of it. And I think he
Right.
really he understood, he understood the assignment on that.
Right. And Jesus was telling him in the dream, he was saying, "What are you doing with a cross?" You know, the real Jesus is saying, "I'm not on a cross. I'm within everybody. I'm
Right.
everywhere." You see, I think that's where the whole thing. What you're just saying, you just got the point of it. He was having conflicting things that were happening, and then the divineness of his contact with Jesus in the dream was that, hey, wait a minute, people on earth have me on a cross. I'm not on a cross. I'm everywhere.
Right.
I'm this like divine light being that's everywhere, but I was put on a cross, which is confusing to most humans, and this is why he was having that inner conflict of what he was seeing.
Well, think about this though, Commander. We really get into symbolism
Yeah.
and how source will present itself to us. I find it funny
Hmm.
that God presented himself in the form of Jesus,
Right.
showing that you don't need the cross, but it still shows that you do have to have faith because it could
Right.
have just been a normal man saying you don't
Right.
need the cross. But because it was Jesus saying it, it's like, hey, you don't need that 3D religion, but you do need faith in me.
Right.
Because I think that's important that we do have that faith.
And the faith has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with the understanding. I
Right,
mean, it's ridiculous on TikTok how many people have come up with these different lives that they think are really kind of cool about Jesus or God, and they make all
right.
kinds of weird. I've seen all the weird stuff without I don't go in them. I just see them. I say, what are these people doing? So when you think about faith, don't look at it from a religious word. Look at it from the faith of understanding that we're all connected to God, that Jesus was a Christed being of light, that we are all Christed beings of light. And when Jesus went to the teachings in India and all over the world that were not talked about
Oh, wait, Commander.
yeah,
Rami's in the chat, and he said that Jesus wasn't pointing to himself or the cross. He was specifically pointing to the ropes on the cross, which represents the bondage. Yeah,
yeah,
the bondage to the 3D, feeling of
yeah.
it.
And speaking as we're discussing things here, you're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual #1 UFO talk show on social media. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. My co-host is James down Rabbit Hole. And you're also, just to let you know, if you wish to be a guest, you must, these are the rules of the show. No paranormal discussion. You have to be over 18. No kids on the show. Thirdly, no smoking, no vaping, no drinking, no drugs. If that's more important to you, you'll never get on. The other thing is, what was I going to say? Did I leave anything out? Yeah, no obscenities, no cursing on the show. Leave that stuff at home. Put it in the box. We don't want it on here. But if you've had any encounters, visitations, if you have any disclosure information, you want to talk about crop circles, fairies, or any of those things, star people that you've been in contact with, you have to have 200 followers to go live on audio, 1,000 for actually audio and video. So if you want to be a guest, tell us why you want to come on the show. Put it in a sentence in the room here, and then I'll know what you want to talk about, and then we can put you on here as a guest with myself and with James.
Yes.
And we're at 54,000. We want to get up to 100,000 before 1 a.m. So please, everybody needs to tap here on Encounters. I make this a very interactive program. In our studio, we have an audience all over the world, 228 people everywhere around the planet. If you know people that you think should be here, please share the show if they're awake and not sleeping, physically sleeping. Invite them to come here. So welcome all the new people.
But wait, if they're not awake, but you know what I mean, awake.
Yeah.
So we can help wake them up in that way.
And we'll wake them up. We'll definitely bust their matrix. We guarantee it.
CmdrAleon busting the matrix since 1989.
I'm always busting the matrix. That's the thing. I love busting the matrix. It's one of my favorite missions things to do is busting the matrix. Welcome Mountain and all the new people. User, I see all these people coming in. Good to have you with us. Jawsman, hey, good to have you with us, Jawsman.
Hey, Jawsman, come. Can we pull you up, man? Because I wanted him to.
I'm bringing Jawsman up here.
Yeah, bring him up here. Come up here, man, because you've been having some pretty good videos.
And I want to talk about this whole thing with the UFO hitting a plane or something.
Hitting the plane, yep.
I want to hear about that story. The plane that got hit. Let's see if I can get him up here.
There he is.
Okay, we got Jawsman. Hey, Jawsman, how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
Good. I hear the story James told me about a plane. Can you give us a insight onto that breaking cosmic news story about the spaceship or UFO hitting the plane?
Sure. Okay. I'll give you a quick rundown.
Yeah.
I'm just up every night watching TV, just watching my sports. And me and my wife were up. It was late. She's looking out the window, and she's always playing jokes with me. Oh, there goes a UFO. There goes a UFO. Always. So I don't take it seriously.
Right.
So this time she goes, I'm not playing with you. It's out the window, and it's gliding. She says it's red and green lights. I said, stop playing with me. So she got up off the couch. She was the first one to record. Now I knew she was serious. And then I grabbed my phone and I started recording. This thing was like gliding over the McDonald's. And you know, like how you go to the red light and you make a left? This thing went to the corner and banked and then went around on the other side of the supermarkets. And then it kind of stopped and then just went away. And then the funny thing is, it came back like 30 minutes later. And when it came back 30 minutes later, it stopped. And I got that video, but for some reason, TikTok won't let me post it up.
Are you serious?
Yes, I tried many a times to post that video up. It's a
I'm gonna send
12-second.
him my email.
Do you have the video right now in front of you?
Yeah, if I go through my
Okay. Is there a way that you can put the video on my screen here on my live? Maybe we can do it.
I would do that, but they wouldn't let me post it, so I don't want to get your live.
Okay. All right. I'm bold, but I don't want to lose my live either. But yeah, I definitely want to see the video. Maybe James, send it to James, and maybe he can show it.
Okay, no
I
problem.
don't know why they wouldn't want it shown. Why do you think they didn't want it posted?
I don't know
James,
the first one I posted, and then I took a screenshot of it and I blew up the other one, and you could tell that it's a triangle. You could
Triangle.
clearly see. You could clearly see it's a triangle, not a plane. Now the
Right.
planes that go over my house, I mean, you could hear them. You could hear the plane just coming, and you know it's a plane. It goes over my house. It goes over the McDonald's and the church is
Yeah.
across the street from me, and I mean, you could hear the engines. This thing,
I mean,
you couldn't hear nothing.
I've had people on here, Jawsman, show their videos. We've done C5s even last year with UFOs over the screen here. So I don't see why they
hey,
would be.
Jawsman, I sent you my email address.
Okay,
You know what? Wait, I'm gonna send you my other. I'm gonna send you the email address I used to contact our shy friend with. Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah.
send you that one.
and the
Yeah.
12-second video when it came back, this thing blinked.
Yeah.
It lit up a red, and it blinked out, and it just disappeared.
Wow, we got to see that. I mean, our audience is telling me they want to see it,
Yeah.
and we'll get it to James, and then James will somehow put it on here.
Hey, but
If the
send it to the second one that I sent you, because that way I could access it through the special computer and pull it up.
You got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we'll show you the video. If not tonight, one of the other nights coming up. Because if it's a UFO video, I don't see why TikTok goes to having. I mean, I've got my main channel. I have tons of real spaceship videos.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I don't.
Jawsman gets some. He gets some videos that nobody else get. I don't even
Yeah.
want to know where you're getting your videos from, man.
They ain't mine,
So it's
brother. That's for sure.
yeah. Well, you know how to
Now
look for them. That's for sure.
this
Yeah.
this one that I seen in 2024.
Hmm.
I seen it back in 2008. Remember when I came on your show and I told you that one was
Hmm.
over my house, and that one was about the same thing, and it
Hmm.
almost did the same thing. And I was upstairs in my room watching the Yankees game, 9:33 at night, and I zoomed
Hmm.
down the stairs, and me and my wife looked up, and we seen it, and then I
Yeah.
followed it to the next town over, Harrison. At that time, we
Wow.
didn't have
That's
iPhones or anything. We had Metro
yeah.
phones, flip phones. So
Oh, the flip phones. I
yeah,
remember those. Yeah.
there was no iPhones or anything like that, or video recording.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna get his videos on here, folks, on the
Guys,
show, and we're gonna see them.
I'm gonna put my email addresses. I put my email address in the chat for everybody. So if you guys get videos or pictures or anything like that, you send them to that email. I can pull them up,
Right.
and
And
we
if
can
you
show them. I've shown, if people send me videos, I will show them on the show. We don't hold back.
okay.
But I
right.
gotta
You
get
want
them.
it?
I gotta get
I'm gonna
get
tell
them.
you
Thank you, Jules.
I'm gonna tell you one more story
Hey,
before I
wait,
go.
Jawsman.
Yeah, go ahead.
He wanted to hear about that video you just posted of the
Right.
UFO hitting the little Cessna plane.
Yeah, what about that?
That video I took and I posted it. It wasn't my video, but I got permission from the person that I contacted. I sent him an email,
Yeah.
and I got permission before I posted it from him, and I told him to do a little editing and everything. He says, "Do what you want with it," and post it. So I did
Where
that.
did that
Really?
happen?
Yeah, where was
I
that?
never asked him where it happened or anything like that, but the only thing he did was give me permission to post it.
Could you find out from him? This is Encounters, Spiritual UFO Talk Show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. James is my co-host. We have Jawsman here. Find out when the date was of what happened, and just a general location. He doesn't have to give us like specifics, but a location like a state, a country, or a region, and what date it was. If you find that would be really important.
One more story before I go, and then I'll let you guys go. My wife went to a Sweet 16 party, and she was with her sister and her two cousins and sister-in-law. And when they came out from the party, they seen a silver shape, a silver gray disc right over in Kearney, New Jersey. And my wife said it was silver space gray. It was. And I asked her how big was it. She said it could have been no more than about maybe 20 to 30 feet in diameter.
Wow.
And now here's the funny thing. When they recorded it and this thing took off, she said it was orange and red lights when it took off.
Wow.
Yeah. And they recorded it, and when they recorded it, the recordings were not in their phones.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Four different people recorded the same object, and it wasn't in their phones.
Wow, that's crazy. Really crazy. You got some really amazing stories. We're going to get some of the videos.
She came home and told me this. She couldn't even talk on the phone.
Wow.
You're definitely tuned in on what you're doing, and I think that's important, Jaws. Yeah, whenever you have anything happen, man, just come on the show live, and you'll give us updates on UFO reports from where you are. We'd love to hear the stories, because that's really important for people on the show to know these things are happening right now. It's just amazing what's going on out there.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to come up here and and give a story that's not real and true.
No. When it's a real, true story, that's what I mean. If it's true and real,
yeah.
Like these stories are absolutely come up with us. James and I would be happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely, brother. You know we love you.
Everybody, give a round of applause. Give a round of applause to Jawsman 11. We appreciate you and
Make
your
sure
wife.
you're following him and his other page too.
Yeah. Yep. And if they go to your page, what page is that if they want to see the videos?
Sasquatch UFOs and Jawsman 11.
Yeah, if you go to his page, I think you tag yourself in the other ones, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. He's got amazing videos, guys. And he has fun lives when he goes live.
Yeah.
My live streams are not as good as the Commander's.
Yeah, but I try to come in and say hello.
Yeah.
I'll have to stop in once in a while there. I'm so crazy busy, but
Commander, come help him boost his algorithm.
I could definitely do that.
I just started posting. I haven't been posting lately because my father-in-law passed away in
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He was a pastor for 40 years, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably on a spaceship right now. Oh, thank you for that.
Thank you, Jesus.
I got a night helmet. That's good. That's like, to me, a space helmet for me. A night helmet. Yeah.
Well,
nice
nice
template.
Talking to you guys. I'm going to let you guys go.
Well, take care, Joes, man. We appreciate you, man. We love you, so I appreciate you.
I'll be in the room listening to you guys.
All right, sounds good. Patty Cake says, not first time. Patty Cake, let me ask Patty Cake a question. Patty Cake, have you seen any UFOs or something? I'm looking. She's telling us something about a story.
Wait, what? Small dark suits, long arms, 4 fingers. Whoa, that's right up our alley.
I'm going to bring Patty Cake on here. Let me get Patty Cake on here. Wait a minute. Patty Cake, we're going to get you on here. Let's see. And it's Patty Cake there. Patty Cake.
Patty Cake.
That's what I was thinking. It brought me back to the time of. There she is. Why is it? Okay, here we go. I'm following you, Patty Cake. Hey, Patty Cake, you got to turn your setting to public. You have your setting on private. I can't bring you on live unless you do that. You have 3,000 plus followers. Change your setting on your profile to public, and then I'll be able to bring you on. So once you change it, I'll invite you back onto the show. So you got to set to private. Change it to
Oh,
public. It's still on private.
patty cake. If everybody's excited for patty cakes, give Commander a double tap. Boo-ba-da-boo.
Yeah, and Patty Cake, we definitely want to interview because your story sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Just switch it over.
Anything with 4 fingers and a spacesuit is
Well,
cool.
that's really weird.
in my book.
So I'm going to try to bring her on. She just switched it to public. And Patty Cake, I want you to press the guest option. We have a guest option. You'll see the little icon where it says the people icon for guests. Can you press that, and I will bring you on here live. Okay? And I'll bring Jawsman down. I don't think he... Let me just do this here for him.
Yeah, remember, you got to kick him out for the algorithm.
Okay, so I'm going to try to bring Patty Cake live.
Spacesuits are welcome, but optional, Julie says.
Okay, can I get her on here? Let's see.
Hi, Patty Cakes.
Let me see Patty
Okay,
Cakes here.
just
I'm going to
wait.
go back. Hey, you did it. There you go.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Patty Cakes. Hey, and whereabouts are you located?
Oh, sorry. Oh, Canada.
Like what part of the world? Canada, okay.
Yeah, right now
Well,
I live
welcome
in the
from the,
Northwest
great-
Territories, but when I had that encounter, I was living in Edmonton, Alberta, and I was living in the
Oh, wow.
southern part of the city of Edmonton facing the airport in the newer section. And one, I'd always skywatch, and I seen these weird lights the previous night, and I just thought, okay, I kept an eye on them. Didn't think nothing of it. In that night, I was like sitting on my deck, having some wine and not paying attention to anything. And then I went to bed and I locked up. But in the middle of the night, I normally get thirsty and I wanted some orange juice, of all stupid things. So I went down. When I tried to get up, it was like I had this wave of sleepiness wash over my body, and I had to fight to open my eyes. And
Wow.
actually, I had to force my eyes open and go to the bathroom and wash my face and make my way downstairs because I kept feeling these waves of sleepiness. And then when I went downstairs to go get my orange juice, I walked past it and went right straight to the deck and opened the curtain to look out.
Huh.
And there were 4 little creatures, like short. And because I had to bend down and look because I'm tall, I'm 5'8". And
5'8", okay.
and this one came walking, and they walked funny. It was almost like floating and walking at the same time.
Floating, walking, interesting.
And he came right up to the window, so I bent down to look at him. And that's when I looked really good at this little thing. And I was like, and they had big eyes and whatnot. But when I felt like it was a bodysuit
Okay.
that they were
Wow, that's
perceiving.
interesting.
Because when I looked in his eyes, in my mind's eyes, I got a picture, was a flash, like just clear of his face. And it wasn't what
Wow.
he perceived to show me.
Mm-hmm.
And their skin actually looked like kind of reptilian.
Oh, that's not
But
good.
different colors and hues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I remember 4 bumps on the top of the head. And then when he closed off, and he looked like a little white face, black eyes. So I looked
Yeah.
at his suit carefully, and he had a little insignia because I was looking up to him. So it was on his left side of his chest. It was a circle, and it had a triangle in it, and it had these funny squiggly marks in it. Like, I do remember that.
Can
And
you draw
my
a
mind
picture
did
of-
like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing because I had to pinch myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like my mind did a whirl because I just couldn't understand what the fuck I was looking at.
Oh, let's the language part that we did got. Just
And then
gotta
you
we
do.
gotta.
Your mind just does this crazy thing.
Yeah.
It's because I was kind of like not really scared, but I was more like, because I was still in that sleepy state.
Yeah.
And all I did was, shh. I said, "You're not real." And I closed the curtain and I went right straight to bed and I fell right back asleep. And as soon
Well,
as I
that's
got
really
up in
weird.
the morning, I jumped up and I said, "They're freaking real." And I think they were trying to track me because the next time, because my husband at that time was working out of town, I was home alone. The next time he came home and I popped up in the middle of the night with a bleeding nose, and I never have bleeding noses.
Oh, that's
And
not
guess
good.
what? A big freaking clot came out, and I had to stuff Kleenex up my nose that night just to stop it. And I just flushed it down, not thinking anything of it. And that was like, I couldn't understand, well, why did they show themselves to me? Like I just couldn't understand it. And I always felt like they were trying to track me, but they couldn't find me because I think whatever they put up my nose came out.
So wait, what? Oh man, we got so many questions. Sorry,
I know we do.
sorry. I just gotta jump in there.
Go
These
ahead.
suits that they were wearing. Okay, so we're
Two-piece,
gonna
it was almost like blue-black.
blue black, and you said let's get context for the viewers. 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall.
Okay, I'm 5'8".
Right.
I bend down about that level to look at them in the eye.
Mm.
I mean, I had
And they
to
were
go low.
short.
They were short.
So they were
Yeah.
really small, and were their bodies slim, or
They were on the
were their
slender
bodies
side,
like
yes.
kind
Kind
of
of like a long,
Huh.
and you can almost see like muscular arms.
right,
Huh.
right.
It was kind of bulging out in places, but kind of long. And I was 3 or 4 fingers. I know that because I was looking and I thought it kind of threw me off when it walked.
And you said they walked funny. Did their knees bend backwards?
Yeah, what
Like
happened with
not
that?
like
No, I
ours,
didn't
or
see no
forward?
backwards.
Okay,
were
so
just
they
floating.
bend
Glided
normal like
towards me.
ours.
Like he glided towards me. It was kind of weird. It was like 2 motions at once. It was kind of threw me off.
Huh.
Like
And I-
something out of a video game, kind of, or a movie.
I've never seen that motion before, but it threw me off.
Well, but they were floating. They were just like floating
just
above
like
the
they were
ground.
like on the deck though, but it kind of glided at the same time.
Wow.
That's crazy. Now, when you had the bloody nose, was that after you went back in to go to sleep?
Oh, my husband was home that time because he was working out in the oil fields, and he was
Okay.
home for his 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever. Yes. Anyway, he was because I told him what happened, and he goes, "You and your damn UFOs," and because we've seen crazy lights.
Okay.
Tracking us when I was driving from the NWT to Edmonton at different times. And my oldest son was a
Wow.
witness also. And we couldn't figure out what was off in a distance following us.
So you had UFOs following you when you're traveling places.
Yes.
Interesting. Was that before?
I've had that happen to me numerous times.
Did that all happen before you had the encounter with these short
Yes,
beings that were floating?
That happened before.
Interesting.
Mm.
What do you think, James?
I don't know. So you said their skin was iridescent.
No, it was
scaled?
It was almost like reptilian when he showed me his true face.
That's not good.
Like big 1-inch patches, and their heads are really big, and their eyes are way bigger than ours.
Yeah.
And the nose and mouth was a little bit different than ours. Like it wasn't quite not like ours. And the ears, like when they showed
Thank you, Marco.
the white and black at the first time, the ears seemed to be inside, but I also felt like it was a bodysuit until it showed its true face to me.
Right.
And then when it showed its true face to me, I was like stunned. And I said, in my mind, I said, "You're beautiful." And that's when it went completely changed. And
really?
And that's when I turned around and just went to bed because I was like, this is freaking crazy. And I went to bed and I fell right back asleep like nothing. Because prior to that, when I was trying to fight to stay up, like I had to fight to stay up, I kept like getting washed emotions of sleepiness. It was so powerful. I had to force my eyes open and go to the bathroom and throw cold water on my face.
So the day afterwards, I'm assuming you went on into your backyard, back porch again.
I looked around for physical
nothing
evidence.
Missing, nothing messed up.
Yeah, when you went in the backyard, did anything look different?
No, it didn't really feel different, but I've always had crazy things happen because one day I was sitting in my deck. It was a beautiful day. It was evening. It was like early evening, not a cloud in the sky. And right in the middle of, I was looking up in the air, and all of a sudden I heard this kind of like static out of nowhere, and it was just like a little puff of static, and I was like, what the hell was that? And there's no clouds.
Nothing.
And it just stopped, and I kind of looked around and didn't see anything. So I didn't think anything of it. And I just went back inside, not thinking anything of it. I just thought, okay, what kind of crazy weather are we having?
Right.
Well,
Do
you heard like a static in the sky, not like a thunder, but like
It was,
Static
yeah,
noise.
without even a cloud or anything.
That's amazing.
Now wait, was this when you were in Canada or the Northwest Territories?
In Edmonton, Alberta.
You know, do you
When I
hear
was
do you
traveling,
hear any?
I traveled like a couple years ago when I brought my brother's remains home to be
Thank
buried.
you for the heart.
We drove, and
Yeah.
we were heading back to the city, and that's the time we seen and these lights following us, and those lights had to be about 300 feet long, like in a distance. It was huge
Wow.
because it lit up the whole countryside where it was on. Like it just lit up. You can see the forest, and it was so
Wow.
low you can see everything. And then all of a sudden it just took off behind us because we were near, where was it? We're approaching maybe an hour out of Edmonton when this happened.
Oh wow. Have you
I was around Red Earth that time, yes.
do you want to prevent that kind of interaction from happening with those kind of reptilians? Do you want to stop it?
Well, I don't think they bother me now, no.
Right, but do you want to make sure it never
Man,
happens again?
I don't think it was a reptilian.
I don't think it was reptilians either, but they
think it
just
was
had the
something.
skin just looked like reptilian though, but they
Okay,
weren't
it looked like it.
the common reptilian types that I've seen. No.
Right. But the only thing that concerns me is that you had a bloody nose.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing my husband said to at that time. He goes,
Yeah.
"You never get bleeding nose," and I said, "No, never." And it just came out of the blue, and then about 2 weeks later, on his next turnaround, he was on the deck,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes out about 5:30 in the morning and sit out there and has his smoking coffee. So I went out there. When I woke up, he goes, "I think I saw your friends." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I was sitting here, Pat, and we had the backyard the fence was 6 feet high."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm sitting there and I thought I saw somebody walking around." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "So I stood up and went to the rail to look over into the backyard." And he goes, "There's this tall, white, skinny thing going back and
Wow.
forth." And he saw it, and he never believed in that stuff either, because he'd always
Oh.
make
Now
fun
tell
of me
us,
when I told him.
Patty, tell us about the tall white being. What was that like?
He saw that. I didn't see that. He said they
What did
kept
he say?
looking at him,
What did
walking
it
back
look
and
like?
forth. And when he stood up to go approach the rail, it turned around, looked at him, and disappeared.
Yeah, did he explain what it looked like besides being tall and white?
He
What was
said
the
it was-
facial?
Okay, it was tall, very tall. He said over 6 foot,
Wow.
long and skinny, and had like a bald head, no hair, whatever. And he said it just looked weird, and he never believed in that stuff until that happened.
Interesting.
And it was
So
just a one. It was just a one. It wasn't the
Just
small
the one
ones.
time, yeah.
So
And then
it
not long
looks
after
like
we moved out from there. So
you moved away from there. So it looks
yeah,
like
we moved away from there.
there are two types of ETs that were visiting you. One, the short ones that were floating with some sort of bodysuit on, and then this
Yep.
tall being over 6 feet
And the
tall.
tall, I don't know what
totally
the tall
different.
was about, because I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
He did, and he never believed
Okay.
in that stuff.
Wow, you've had some
He does
experiences
now.
there.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
now
He
he
always
does.
says, "I think your little friends are looking for you." He'd always tell me, and I'm like, "They're not gonna find me now," I said.
Well,
Yeah, no.
get better encounters up there in those northwestern territories because
Oh God, yes. We've seen many lights, like when we travel on a highway at nights. Like the first time that happened to me was probably maybe about 30 years ago. I was traveling from
30 years
Fort
ago.
Smith
Wow.
to Hare River, and we were traveling at night, and it was late. And it's usually a 3.5 hour drive from my community to the next community. And whatever was following us treetop.
Wow.
And not only that, I have another witness to verify this, and this was not the witness in a vehicle. This person we were closer to Hare River, and they have a height, like a high rise there. And this person recorded it and put a little blurb in a newspaper at that time. And I answered it, and I called him, and we talked about what we saw. And I said, I was around this certain lake, and I said, and this thing blew back. And all of a sudden it had these big bright lights like it was looking for something.
Really?
Hey, wait,
Yep.
So it's
hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. We got to bring this back. Where did this happen?
Okay, at that first encounter, that
The
happened
one where the
on my
guy
way
was, where the guy
on my
saw
way to
it.
Hare River.
Hare River. Okay. And
Hay River,
when,
NWT,
when
Northwest
did this
Territories.
happen?
Hay River, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hay River. Okay. And when did this happen?
Well, probably about 30 years ago.
30 years.
Oh,
Okay.
man. So
'Cause
we
I'm
got to go.
62 now.
We got to go to Hay River and get the old newspaper article.
I never kept that article. Many things happened in the meantime, but I did talk to that person that
Yeah.
also saw what was going on, because he was living in a high rise and he recorded it. And he asked me, "Did you report it to the police?" And I go, "Are you crazy?" I said, "They're going to think I'm nuts."
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
So this
You've had
thing
a-
was just
I don't trust
zooming over the.
RCMP. I don't trust the government anyway.
So
Yeah,
wait,
no.
so this thing
Yeah.
was zooming over the treetops
It was
for
following us
3 hours.
top level.
Wow.
The first time when it did, it was all silver lights, and then it changed to all the crazy different lights, and then would go silver again, and it would zoom back out, like within a second would be gone, like a quarter of a mile out.
Wow. How are you feeling? This is Encounters, late night.
Well, I was
spiritual
more
UFO talk
curious
show.
at that time. I wanted my husband to stop at that time, and he wouldn't stop. He was like, "No effing way, I'm stopping."
Yeah.
He was like, if we stop, the ship
We're
is going to
gone.
land and we're going to
Yep.
be taken on board a spaceship.
Probably. He didn't want to stop, but I did.
You wanted to stop. You were the one more curious about.
Yeah,
trying to
I
figure
was
it
more
out.
curious, open to that.
Yeah, he wasn't.
No.
But is that
Wow,
before?
that
Is that before your husband had the encounter with the tall white being?
Oh, that was my first husband. The second husband had the encounter.
Okay, I have to keep track of this. How many husbands have you had?
I only had 2, and that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Two's
Commander, come on now.
No, I'm
Jeez.
just.
I am single, but staying single.
She knows I'm kidding with her.
Oh,
okay,
right. Well, Commander has gotten ever since that Knockanook. I don't know about Commander anymore. You hear that little giggle he just did? I've never heard that giggle before.
Yeah, but it's good. So the first husband, and then the second husband is where the tall white being was. It was the second
Yes.
husband, right?
He saw
Okay.
the tall white. We only saw
interesting.
with the first husband, it was following us for like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, sometimes would go ahead of us
Yeah.
and then back off, come close and back off. It was kind of
Mhm.
crazy at that time. And
Wow.
he wasn't stopping, I tell you, no way.
Yeah, I mean, if I were in his shoes, I probably wouldn't have stopped either, maybe, unless I was in a state
Well,
of
I know
being
he
curious.
didn't want to, because I asked.
Yeah.
I said, stop, because I said, I want to see
Yeah.
this damn thing. It was maybe a good thing he didn't.
But it was following. It was actually staying pace
Treetop
with
level
the
with us on the highway.
treetop level.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That it's obvious they were trying. Do you think it was the same ones that came up towards you that were floating?
I have no idea to tell
you.
You
have no
the truth.
idea who they were.
Plug in my damn phone. I just realized I'm really low. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Just
Well,
calm.
before you.
I'm okay.
Okay. You're okay?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just plugged
Your
in.
story.
I think it is so cool that
Yeah,
that you got to see, that somebody else recorded it,
Yes,
and
they did.
you got to see it from a third person view and a first, like
that's
who
right.
can say that they've had an
I never
encounter?
did see the video because after that we lost
Oh,
touch, and I don't even know if he's still in Hair River or what, because he was staying in the high rise at that time.
Oh,
And
he
he
was
goes, "Well, I
okay.
got the recording." I said, "Well, keep it for future dates," but I said, "Don't erase it." I said, "Maybe one day we're gonna need it."
30
Yeah.
years ago, man, we're gonna have to
And he
dust
had
off the
no,
old VCR.
probably.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting story, Patty. And Patty's up in Canada, and look, amazing, folks. This is an amazing story. Yeah, I find it. Also, one of the things I would suggest if you have future events happen, just to be safe. I try to tell people this in my workshops. I love the story, and I hate transcending. Thanks for saying down the rabbit hole. Some flowers there. But the thing I would suggest is if you want to prevent any any negative ET contacts like the one with the bloody nose, all you have to simply do is say, "I'm a Christed being of light," and if you're not a Christed being of light, you cannot come near my perimeter. As I did with somebody earlier, all you have to do is put a bubble around your home and a bubble around you. So you put a bubble around your physical, an imaginary bubble, and
Hmm.
I'm a Christed being of light. So that's your bubble around you, and then the bubble
I'm
around
very
your
faithful
environment.
at anyway, so I
Okay.
believe. So
Okay, but
I
put
have.
the bubble around. The bubble will be an invisible bubble. This is something you can be faithful, but have
Mhm.
that bubble around you all the time and around your home, and there will be no way anybody can come from anywhere to give you a bloody nose from another planetary system.
Well, I don't think they know where I am now.
Oh,
I just
good.
have that feeling.
But you still want to put the bubble around you. That's one thing I always suggest for people. Believe me, being a Christed being from off planet from Mars, coming to Earth, one of the things I really love to tell people is put this little invisible bubble around you. It's not something you have to worry about. It's not heavy. You don't have to worry about taking the suit
Mhm.
off. It's invisible. It'll protect you from anything, from any lower vibrational ETs from now on, no matter where you are.
Well, even
Guaranteed.
home, like I moved back home here in Fort Smith, and in the
Yeah.
summertime, I always go sit on a riverbank, and I see those spears crossing the skies here all the time too. The
Yeah.
silver
Oh, wow.
spears. Mhm.
Hmm.
In broad daylight.
Yeah.
wow. Hey, I
Interesting.
gotta ask you, because you're up there in the Northwestern Territories. Do you ever hear that sound that's heard in the air, like metal on metal screeching?
No.
No? Okay.
But I've seen videos of people in Alberta that heard it out in the mountains when they're working out in the mountains. I've
Yeah, yeah.
had those videos. And actually, now that you said it, yes, I heard it in Alberta though.
Yeah.
Wow. I've heard it.
2011.
I've heard it in
Okay,
person, and it is amazing.
2011, when that, because
Wow.
I saw the moon at one time, it looked like an egg shape. Remember that?
Yeah.
And at that time, I used to hear sounds like crazy metal sounds, but I couldn't figure out where the hell they
Huh.
were coming from. But
Hmm.
nobody was catching on at that time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was
No, I
living in
got you.
Edmonton at that time.
Commander, we've got somebody in the chat who is an abductee.
Yeah, I'm going to bring her on. I think it's simply Ellie.
Well, we've got Simply Ellie and Redheaded Nana. We've got two, I think. Whoa, my
Yeah,
gosh,
we're
we
going.
are getting encounter stories like crazy.
We're going to bring
Patty
simply Ellie
cakes. Do
on.
you have any
Okay, you can put
patty
Ellie on.
cakes? Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me.
Patty cakes. I wanted to thank you for coming on
Yeah.
and sharing that.
Hold on. Patty, thank you from Canada from being with us on Encounters. Your
We
stories
get
have been
many,
fascinating.
many, many people in my community see lights here all the time.
Oh wow.
Gotta
We'll
get a
have to have you on.
CE5 and go in there and meet up with some of these people.
Yeah, you need to
Um,
get the Stephen
there's some
Greer app.
crazy
Download the
stories, I tell you.
If you use the Stephen Greer app, you'll have some positive contacts. It's a CE5 app. It's on iPhone. You can do, I think, with Apple. And if your Android phone, just do Google Play and download. It's like $9.99, and it has protocol contact. It'll really give you a more positive outlook on encountering what you're dealing with. It's great stories, Patty. Thanks for being on here.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, everyone, give applause for Patty. And now,
Hey.
now we have
Don't forget to bring up. Don't forget. Oh, we'll bring up redheaded Nana after Ellie.
Yeah. And everybody, we want to get to 100,000 likes. We're at 87.5. We got 261 people. Everybody follow everybody else. And please follow me if you want to be kept abreast of my show. I'm trying to get to 100,000 followers before summer to reach more people and get more outreach on the show. So I really appreciated everybody doing that. And Ellie, welcome to Encounters.
Hi, thanks for having me. And I
You're
apologize
welcome.
if it's loud. I'm driving to work, so I was trying to get up here before I got there. But I have some. Well, again, thanks for having me up. My encounter was very recent. If I have any things that happen to be on your page, they probably heard me talk about it or in your live right now. So I've always been open. I'm very spiritual, and I've been open. When they came and called themselves giving us disclosure, which they did to me, that wasn't full disclosure. I felt like they breadcrumbed us. I was like, yeah, we already knew this. At least I did. I'm like, yep, nothing new. But long story short, I had an encounter where I went shopping at Home Goods at the mall. Anyone that knows me is dangerous to let me to go into Home Goods, especially the combo store. So I went shopping, and I exited the store around 5:45 p.m. I go to get in my car, and I called my sister and my friend before I went to go pull out. Well, how about this? This is a very busy mall where there are not only security officers, there's also police officers patrolling the parking lots very heavily. Tell me I wake up in my car at 12:09 a.m. Never left the parking lot. And I was freaking out. I pick up my phone, and it's like I have like all these missed calls, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't have diabetes. I'm not epileptic. What happened? So I called one of my friends. She's very spiritual. She has ESP. And I was talking to her, and she said, I don't know why, but you weren't in that car. She said, I don't believe you were in a car. She said, you woke up in a car, but I don't believe you were in a car that entire time. And I said, but I can't remember anything. And she said, hang tight. She said, I think it's going to come back to you. So I went and got a reading by this lady that I know. She's legitimate. I went to her, and I didn't tell her what happened. And she says to me, she went to go, I just said, hey, how are you? And she said, ooh, she said, are you angry? I said, no. She said, okay, let me see what's going on. She said, there's something attached to you. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, it's like, it almost like it did not like her tapping into my energy. And I was like, okay. And she said, do you have any interactions with ETs? And I just started giggling, because I know that I kind of had this other conversation with my sister. Mind you, I didn't, I didn't what happened. So I just kind of giggled, and she said, whatever this is primordial, and it's not evil, but it's like, it kind of slapped my hand for getting into your energy. I said, oh. And she said, it didn't like me getting into your energy. So then I wound up remembering what happened about a week later. Okay. So what I remember was being on a ship, and almost like I was being given a tour. When I tell you legitimately Star Trek Enterprise, that's what I, different races of extraterrestrials. They were all working together. They were typing. I saw some typing on like a console, if you would say, typing on a console, and the instead of it being like a black screen, like a laptop, glass. And whenever transmissions, it would light up on the glass, the wording, and then it would just disappear. And so the being that was guiding me, it's like the way that he was talking to me, like, oh, you don't remember your way around, follow me. He took me to what can be considered a med bay, like a medical bay, and he brought me in a room. And when I come into a room, To my left, there was this large female in what I can only describe as either like a glass coffin or a med bed. But she was floating off of the bed, and it was this beam of light circling her body. And
Wow.
I was standing at the foot of the bed because I did not want to intrude on her space. So I kind of stood at the foot of the bed, and then he turns around and he looks at me and he says, "Are you ready to get back in your body?" What?
Really?
And I was like, what? And next thing, that's all I remember. So her saying that to me, she was like, they didn't like me tapping into your energy. Another thing was that there were monitors and everything. You know, I noticed that and there were other bodies, and their bodies were being guarded.
The
What I
bodies are
saw,
being these
guarded, like
bodies that
protected.
okay, and why were these bodies in the glass med beds?
Yes.
Okay, and continue on. Did you get an understanding of why this was or what they were being used for?
Yes. So what I saw, and I had to tell you guys about an encounter before this happened because I was able to connect the dots to this event.
Wow. Okay.
So from what I saw, these beings decided to transfer their consciousness into a human vessel, and their bodies are being protected on the ship. So whoever these beings are, they must be important because they have to be protected. It was almost like
Oh.
they chose to help humanity, like they were a part of some council, and or maybe, I don't know, royalty, and they just said they felt responsible for
Really?
helping out. So they
Oh, let me
came
ask you
down.
and let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
That sounds interesting. So they're in the med bed in these glass encased things. They're living, humans, space people. Do you think that they chose to go into a human family and be birthed into human form, and that their bodies were there until they come back? Where were you
Yes.
getting out of it? Okay.
Yes, I felt as though they took an assignment and they chose to come here because it wasn't just one or two beings, it was multiple beings
Really?
being guarded and protected. And so that's why I cried when the young lady
Mm-hmm.
that did my reading that told me this. I just started
Mm-hmm.
crying because she said, "Oh, these are primordial and they don't like me messing around in your energy." Like, they snapped at
Mm.
me when I tapped into your energy. And she said, "These are primordial. They're not evil." She said, "It's just that they were protective over you."
They're
And I said,
protected, yeah.
yeah. Now, I do want to kind of explain this to you. So this happened to me early on in the summer. I can astral project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was laying on the couch. Those of you guys that have central air, you know how sometimes you'll whether it's your couch or your bed, or you sit under the AC system. So I
Mm-hmm.
laid down. I just need darkness, and darkness. Give me about 10 to 15 seconds, and I can astral project. So,
Okay.
but here was the thing. I actually, that time, I didn't choose to do it. It's almost like I was summoned. So I
Mm.
almost like a magnet pulled me out of my body, and I'm in a hospital room, and I could not see. There was a being bending over me, and his face was like grayed out, almost like pixelated out. So I remember feeling his lab coat brushing against my chest. I remember feeling him breathing, or it breathing on me, but I could not see the face. Whoever was
Yeah.
standing in the doorway was yelling, "Is she okay?" And he had his pen light shining it into my eye. And I was freaking out because I could feel the air from the AC system kick in on my couch, but I was also in that bed. And I'm
Yeah.
looking around, and everything was futuristic. The walls were metal, and I'm a
Mm.
nurse. So I remember thinking, okay, if you're admitted to the hospital, admitted, not in the emergency room, you have windows. There's no windows. I don't see light. What is
Yeah.
going on? And automatically after that, I was pulled back to my body. So at that time, I didn't know what to make of it, besides the fact that now I know I can be in multiple places at the same time, because I felt myself on the couch and felt what was going on around me, but I also felt and experienced everything in that hospital room. Now,
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid of the beings, because based on what the beings said from the door, the door, they were concerned about my health. But having that experience, it connected it to what I experienced on the spaceship. I'm wondering if something happened to that being, and in a way, I was shown like, hey, this is your body. You're really somewhere else.
Wow.
The
Wow.
physical, yeah.
So did you feel this is encounters? This is a fascinating story. It's an amazing story. So I get that the beings that you were on the ship with were very much positive, very much galactic, probably very Christed. I would think they were there
Mm-hmm.
to do good things, right? Am I getting a good drift on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it was such harmony and peace on that ship. I saw Greys, I saw Draconians. Um, and
Huh.
so I have an understanding that not all of them, just like humans, we're not all bad. Not
Right.
all of them are bad. You have different factions of them, but I am so thankful for that experience, because just as much as you and I are here having this discussion, that was so real to me. It was so real. I could smell smells on the ship. And then I
Mm-hmm.
had someone DM me and say, and I didn't, and this is before I even told my story, because it took me a while. I had to sit with myself to
Mm-hmm.
kind of, decompress. And someone
Thank
told
you,
me,
Rachel.
you saved me. I remember you from
Mm-hmm.
a ship. And I'm like, are you
Yeah.
serious? 3 or 4 more messages that I got from other people. And hadn't
Wow.
yet shared my story. So I say this to say, guys, we're really not alone. We're really not alone.
Wow. What a terrific story. I mean, and we're almost at 100,000 here, but that your story is amazing. This is the stuff you will never see on the national news on any country. There'll never be any interviews like this. This is what disclosure is about, brothers and sisters. On this show, this is the kind of person that's taken aboard a ship with all these positive beings working with each other. And what really amazes me is the med beds. When you told me these beings were being protected in the med beds, the glass enclosed areas, it just told me that that that's what we are. Like we have our physical space body on a spaceship, and that if we've come here a starseed, our body on the spaceship is still waiting for us to go back into the body once we leave this physical realm. And maybe we never leave this physical realm. Maybe we ascend in this physical human body, but we also have our space body that's being protected. Would that be a good definition of what you're talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
I feel that. And I honestly, I felt like, hey guys, I felt like these beings felt so much responsibility and love that they decided to come down. And I could tell that whoever they were, these beings were very powerful, which is why their bodies needed to be protected. These beings were loved,
Yeah.
and they came down. And you know, I had a situation that happened where, and this was like a week or two ago. I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I actually do have this video. I filmed it.
Okay.
I'm thinking, it's late at night. I sat in my car, and I'm thinking this is a star. This is after I got off of one of my shifts, and sometimes I won't drive back home. I'll just take
Right.
a nap, because I'm a travel nurse, and a lot of us lose our lives sometimes trying to drive when we have no business driving. So I
Oh
slept.
wow.
I
Okay.
sat in my
Okay.
car, and I thought at first I thought it was a plane, and I said, okay, well, this plane is sitting still. Maybe it's a star. And I'm trying to make excuses, but I noticed that the star started moving. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And then once I acknowledged it, it started changing colors and shape. I
Wow.
have this on video, and I put it on my story, and people were like, oh my God, I saw the same thing. Where are you? Um, so I'm like, wait a minute. Like they're watching over us. They're
Yeah.
watching over us. And it's just an amazing feeling, because you know that there are those out there that are quick to debunk stories like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys knew the whole time, even when you were telling people they were crazy, even when they were telling people that, oh, this person, you
Thank you,
can't,
Robin.
yeah, like their story isn't credible because they have mental health issues. I'm like, well, didn't this person pass a mental evaluation by you guys when they
Right.
enlisted?
That's right.
But
Amazing.
so, yeah, I just had to get up here and share this because
Oh my
I know
gosh.
we're
Yeah.
not alone.
No, we're not. And I appreciate. I want you to send me your video of the spaceship. I want to see the video. Can you send it to me?
Commander,
Yeah.
I'll send her my email address.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let
Yeah.
down rabbit hole send you the email address, and we'll get your video on here. I'll post it on my Astar Command Astar Spaceship News profile page, where I
Mhm.
have all real spaceship videos from everywhere. So I'd be happy
Yeah.
to do that.
And I wanted to add one more thing. I don't know if you guys have Miles, but he does like UFOs videos a lot. And he shared something saying that a lot of people are reporting, and he believes it, that a lot of these ships are just disguising themselves as stars.
Oh yeah,
Almost
there's a
Sure.
lot. There's
Sure.
absolutely there's now 6 to 7 big spaceships 50,000 miles outside of the Earth's atmosphere. I've talked about this before. You'll know they're ships. They have multicolored lights. They'll be blinking like crazy. They're actually spaceships. They're huge motherships. There's about 6 or 7 strategically located off planet, and they've been there forever.
Oh man, I'm so emotional over here because I told my friend, and I have contacts in, and I said I don't know why. I know this might sound like bonkers to some people, but
No,
I
no, it
feel
doesn't.
like
Not here.
I feel like what we think we're seeing in the sky is like the sun and the moon, and especially at night, I feel like it's a hologram because I literally watched the moon glitch the other day, almost like remember when we would put the DVDs in and it would
Right.
distort. And I'm like, I wonder, I almost feel like there are some things going on up there that they don't want us to see because they have been sending so much up. And just for those of you that don't know, I'm also military. So
Oh,
it's yeah. And I have friends that are in intelligence, and there are those of
really?
them that are on our side, and they are spilling tea. Matter of fact, my friend told me, don't go on Signal because it's being monitored by Big Brother. Go on, she said, I want you to go on Telegram and join the group. And the group is led by people in intelligence, like the ones that know what's
Really?
going on and they want to help us, tell us the
You
truth.
know what? I want you, if you get internal information about what they know about extraterrestrials, I can tell you some things now that between
Mm,
now and 2027, there are galactic forces of light that are coming to Earth. The Pentagon knows about this. I know about this anyway. I knew about this in 2022. So are you getting ask them if there's any confirmation from their end of it.
mm.
And if they give you information, come on our show, and you can definitely be a disclosure person as well. We'd love to have you
Oh,
here.
thank you. I would love that. I would love that. I'm gonna hop down here in a minute just because I have to head to work. But
Yeah.
the Ascendant said something about the blue and red Kachina. I actually I did not see it myself, but I did see the videos from people in Eastern PA when they witnessed or experienced the blue and red Kachina. I believe it was in January. My sister
Yeah.
is an officer, and I called her when I saw the video. I said, "Hey, did you see this today?" She said, "Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I was outside." And but I didn't know what this was called. I didn't know what was going on. So there are things happening and they're trying to explain it away, but the fabric of reality that they try to build for us is unraveling. So what a time to be alive, guys, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. You're just a beautiful person. Your story is incredible.
I
It
was
is
very
incredible.
emotional because I always felt this responsibility for people. I have a love for people, and I was very emotional because I've always felt like the oddball.
Hmm.
Um, and it makes so much sense to me now.
Hmm.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, you're definitely going to be a regular on our show. Definitely on a lot of levels, but definitely also your intel people that have security clearance. Definitely, when you want to bring stuff on here, we're here about busting the matrix and doing what the TV news media is not doing, telling people the truth about what's going to be happening. And so I'm glad you're here. I really am.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys. If you don't mind, because I don't want to mess with your algorithm, can you please drop me and then I'm gonna listen. I have about 10 more
Yeah.
minutes before
All
I
right.
get to
We'll
work.
drop you.
Have a great night,
Well,
guys.
Good
everybody
night. Thank
say
you.
thank you so much. Thank you. We
You're welcome.
appreciate it. And I'm going to bring up, now we're going into the whole thing here. I'm going to bring my friend up. Oh, is she here? No, I think you might have went to sleep. I
What
think she went to
happened
sleep.
to our other
Vinny
I think
we have
well
Vinny who wants
Vinny
to come.
yeah, Vinny was there, but then there was that other I
Who's the
think
other
it was
person?
redheaded Nana or something.
Red
Nana.
Nana? Where's Red Nana?
I think that was her name. I gotta scroll up.
Red,
There she is, redheaded
there's
Nana.
Redheaded Nana. We're going to bring you on as a
There
guest.
she is. I'm guessing it's.
We'll,
I'm thinking it's a she.
we'll go to about 1:30, and then we're on the East Coast here, so that will end the show at 1:30. So Red Nana, Redheaded Nana. Good evening.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hi, hello.
Hey, how are you? And where are you about?
I'm in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Welcome Arizona to the show.
Yeah, so, little backstory. My family, they kind of lived in St. John, Springerville, all those areas where Travis Walton was abducted.
Okay. Okay.
And it's just kind of strange. In my family, it's like a generational thing. I've at least 2 generations, I think 3 with my mom. But I started having what I had called nightmares, but they were recurrent.
Yeah.
And there was always 3 beings, and they would take me. A lot of times I was just outdoors with them. I would feel my hands being bound, but they weren't really tied. I knew I could like take them out if I wanted to,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah.
more that I knew that I wasn't to, so I didn't.
Yeah.
And I sound a little shaky because I don't talk about it usually, because for me it was really terrorizing as a kid.
Well, you're
And
on the right show. This show, everybody will be sympathetic to you, and you won't have any problems. So go ahead.
yeah, well, then so I would say they would come for me, is how I would word it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember experiences of waking up and knowing that they were right beyond the darkness, waiting, and
Wow.
for me to go back to sleep. And so I would just lay there in terror, not wanting to go back to sleep. And it wasn't like a typical kid nightmare or night terror or anything like that. It was pretty real. And after we moved, they followed. So like we had a lot of trauma at that time in my life. My grandfather passed away, and then my dad passed away 3 months later.
Oh, wow.
And so
Okay.
it was that year that I started remembering the dreams. And my grandmother moved, and we moved to another place, and I thought that the dreams would stop, but they didn't. And then I'd wake up after I had an occurrence, and then I'd just be like frozen. So I mean, I became very spiritual at a young age because I was so freaked out by this. To me, they were monsters I didn't understand. They had big black eyes. They didn't look like
Oh my
typical
gosh.
rays,
Okay.
but they were just they were ugly. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. There were 3, and they were very ugly.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't sound good, but go ahead.
no, it didn't. It wasn't good because I was just this little kid. But as time went on, I learned to pray. I'd pray.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pray. The covering of God, Jesus over me, just protect me, help me not to have bad dreams. This became a thing for me as a kid because
Yeah.
I just felt so, I had so much fear. And so in my mind, because I had fear when it came about with these beings, to me, that meant that they weren't, good. They weren't,
Yeah, they weren't. Obviously, they weren't good. Yeah.
they
There's
weren't
no
good.
way.
And so later, fast forward, I have kids now. We moved to Flagstaff. Well, let me backtrack. We lived in Bullhead City, and one day this ginormous craft flew right over my house. I mean,
Wow.
it was like a football field, and it was
And
below
what
radar.
and
And
what year was that?
that was in, let me see, Margaret was born in 1985. So it was 1985.
Wow, 1985. Wow.
And Bullhead
Continue.
City, Nellis is right outside of Bullhead City. I don't know if you know that.
Okay, Nellis. I know Nellis Air Force Bases. Yeah.
So, and just to even make it weirder, my dad was a senior master sergeant of the intelligence, and he dealt with a lot of top secret things. He passed away when I
Really
was 3. And that's when I started having these things happen, which
interesting.
I know. I always thought that, I always felt like it was somehow connected.
It probably was. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So fast forward, we moved to Flagstaff, and my husband yells, "Hey, Robin, come out here!" And I came out here. He goes, "Look, they're coming for you." And it was the same craft 10 years later.
Wow, 10
10
years
years
later,
later, over
this
a
huge
different
spaceship.
city. Yeah, it was huge. It was massive, and it was below radar.
Wow.
The first
That's
time it was
crazy.
announced on the news in Bullhead City, they had said
Mm-hmm.
there's an unidentified flying object hovering over the desert of blah blah blah, and then they came back and they retracted it right away.
Just like Roswell, the first thing they said in Roswell in 1947 is, in Braswell's ranch, Braswell, is that there was a flying saucer that crashed. It was in the paper. 24 hours later, it was a weather balloon.
Right, exactly.
So they did
Except
the
for this
same
was
thing
like
with
a
this.
football field. I'm not
They
even
ch-
kidding. It was so big.
they changed the newscast after they told the truth. They reversed it.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, then I end up going through a separation. I have my 5 kids, and my daughter Michaela is the youngest of the 5. I'm the youngest of 9, and my mom was
Mm-hmm.
the youngest of her family, which is really weird.
Right.
I always felt there must be some kind of weird, I don't know, because none of my other siblings ever experienced anything like this. So
Wow.
fast forward, my daughter Michaela's 3, and all of a sudden she starts having night terrors, and she'd wake up in the living room on the floor, or by the floor by my door. And we were going through a lot because we were transitioning with their dad not being home. And
Mm.
I would say what happened, and she totally freaked me out when she said, "Mommy, they came for me last night." And I said, "Who came for you?" And she said, "There's 3 of them. They're like little people. There's a mom, a dad, and a kid." Because this is a 3-year-old mentality. You got to remember this.
So let me stop you there. So she says, your little kid says, a mom and dad and a kid. Now we know they're not mom's dad and kid. What was her reaction to them? What happened with
She was
her?
terrified. She was terrified. And so at first, the first dream, we called them dreams or nightmares
Mm-hmm.
because that's
Mm-hmm.
what I called them. I kind of dismissed it. I was a little fearful. I got a little scared, and then I dismissed it. So this is a year
Mm-hmm.
after we saw the craft again in Flagstaff, and then my
Yeah.
husband had left, and now my daughter is saying that she's seeing things, and I was really into church, basically probably because of what happened to me as a kid. I just really
Yeah, of
believed in God.
course.
And so then it started happening continuously,
Mm-hmm.
night after night. She started having
That's
these dreams, and I got
so
so
every
fed
night.
up
Every
because I
night
couldn't
she was
protect
having them.
her.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I
Every
felt
night
like
she was having these dreams.
she was having the same dreams. And finally I pulled her into the room away from the other kids with my 2 oldest daughters, and I said, "Kayla, what are you seeing?" And she said, "I see those 3 people, and they say if I make a noise, they're going to keep me." And so
Really?
I said, "Okay, well, what do they look like?" And I had my 2 older daughters in there, I think, just for support, because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even want to
Yeah.
hear this. I
Mm-hmm.
just anyway, so I said, what do they look like?" And she said, "They've got big, shiny, painted eyes, Mommy." And so again, a 3-year-old
Thank you.
mentality of like a gray's eyes is what I would think.
Yeah.
And I said, "Do they hurt you?" And she said, "No." And I go, "Do they take you places?" And she said, "Yeah, I went to the doctor's office."
The
And
doctor's
the
office.
doctor's office. And I
Huh?
said, "Yeah, what did you see?" "Oh, well, there was this guy on the table." And I go, "There was a guy on the table. Were they hurting him?" "No, they were just doing stuff to him." I said, "Did they do that to you?" And she said, "No, Mom, they let me watch." So
Really?
she was watching this happen. And at this point, we didn't really have internet, let's face it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I started trying to look up agencies, and then I thought to myself, they're going to think I'm a crackpot.
Mm-hmm.
Here I went through this, and now my child is going through this. So
Wow.
I let it go. Then internet comes out years later, and I'm searching and searching because we never told her about this period in her life because we moved right after that back to Phoenix, Arizona.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And now my daughter, she's different than all my other kids. I don't know how to explain it. Um,
Yeah.
even in the womb, she never would move. She's just a different, she's very intelligent. She
Yeah.
just doesn't show a lot of emotion. And so
Okay.
she's 15 years old. She starts doing some odd behaviors, like she tried cutting at one point. So I called in a counselor. By the time she was 16, she knocks on my door and she says, "Mom, can I talk to you?" I said, "Sure." And we never talked about this UFO thing because it was uncomfortable and it was
Right. No, it
scary.
would be.
It was fearful to me. I felt like I couldn't
Wow.
protect my kid. And
Wow.
so because they stopped really coming after me that year in Flagstaff. I felt them come one night. I laid my husband's legs over my legs. And
Mm-hmm.
also my daughter said that they came right through the wall of our closet. They could just
They came. Wait a
they
minute.
could just
So they
come right
came.
through the wall.
They came right through. Listen to this, folks. They came right through the wall. Everybody, through her closet, through the wall.
Through
Just
the
phase.
wall. And it was my room that they came through, is what she said, which that would mean that I would be sleeping when they came to bother her or whatever they
Yeah.
did with her.
Yeah.
So, but she,
Oops. What happened? I hope she hasn't been abducted. Are you still there?
Oh boy.
Oh, weird things
There
happen
she
on this show,
is.
folks. Okay, are you back?
yeah, I'm here.
We thought you
Okay,
got
I don't
abducted
know
there
if
for
you
a minute.
noticed, but you conked out on us on our end.
No, I didn't notice that at all. I'm sorry. What did you miss?
Boy,
Oh, let me. Oh, let's see what's going on here.
not trying to freak you out, but when usually if you exit out of the app or you do something else while you're in a live, it'll say that your live is paused. So your pause screen just came up a
Did you
second
pause
ago.
yourself? Did you just do that?
Nope, I haven't moved at all.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Now,
Why?
well, now they're watching. No, I'm joking. They've always been watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really, I do feel that they watch, but I don't think that they really bother me anymore, which is a relief in a way. But um, okay, going back to Michaela, my daughter,
Yeah.
when she came in my room at 16, she said, "Mom, I got to tell you something, and you're going to think I'm crazy. Please don't think I'm crazy." And she said, "They come for me."
Mm.
And I froze, you guys. I was like, who told her? Because the only two that ever knew were my two older kids. And at the time that they heard her story, they were little. So, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Nobody brought it up. It was too traumatic. And I said, who comes for you, Michaela? Aliens? And she said, "Mom, how did you know?" And I said,
Hmm.
"Because they came for me." And
So,
she burst into tears. And
so they can't
she physically saw them awake. So
really.
so so Michaela at this point in school was doing really poorly because she wouldn't go to sleep at night. Well, she figured out that if she stayed awake, they couldn't mess with her. So when she told me she actually saw one, I said, "Where?" And she said, "At the front door." I opened the curtain and it was standing there. There was one standing there.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's when I told her, "When you were little, they came for you, just like they did me." And she goes, "Jesus, Mom, why didn't you ever tell me this?" And I said, "Because are you happy they're coming for you now?" Basically, I don't want to scare you.
Hmm.
And she said, "When if I stay awake, they can't bother me. You know that, right?" And I didn't know that, but I remember when I was a kid and they would come and I'd be awake, I knew if I stayed awake that they wouldn't touch me.
Really?
So I don't know. It's all really bizarre. And
Let me ask
um,
you, do you still have that happening with her? Is she still having encounters?
she said that she recently, it was probably about 3 months ago, she said she had a weird feeling like they were present.
Hmm.
And she says that she has seen some things in the house, like it's almost like something
Hmm.
walks by her door. and
Okay.
but she does. It's dark, and so she's living at my house. She lives in the
Okay.
apartment in my garage, and she goes, "But I don't embrace it, Mom. I just try
Okay.
to not think
How
about
would
it." So
you how would you like to stop this? You might not know about my background. So for people, I'm going to share this with you. I work with a group off planet. I came here, in human form from the Ashtar Galactic Command, which is the Christed spiritual worlds of light. They're the highest levels of light. They're the good people, so to speak, star people. So I've done this for people on my show ever since I've been on TikTok. I have the ability to help you. Do you want to get rid of those negative beings from coming back in?
I think they're gone, but sure, for her,
Okay. For her. I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna help you out here. I did this for a few different people for different reasons. Now, people, whether you believe it or not, I can definitely do this. I'm gonna send a spaceship over your location right now for a few days. We're gonna send. Let me just get them. When I close my eyes, I'm getting information about this. The coordinates of where you are. 15 space people will be cloaked. You will not see them. They're going to clear the perimeters of your land and also in your house. We're going to prevent those beings that are bothering her. They're going to be sent off planet back wherever they came from. So starting tonight, the other thing that I'd like you to do is say, I'm a Christed being of light. You cannot come into my home anymore. Tell your daughter that the commander said to her that to say to herself, I'm a Christed being of light. And if they appear, then she tells them, I'm a Christed being of light. You must leave. Just those simple things will prevent them from coming back. And we're going to send a spaceship of the galactic levels of the Ashtar Command that will be cloaked about 8,000 feet above your location. 8,000 feet.
I'm
Now,
getting
people that know me,
emotional.
my audience that knows me knows that I can do this. This is not made up stories. I'm not
No,
fantasizing about helping
no,
somebody.
I don't think it's made up. And I've also been told I'm a star child, but I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do this for you based on what I've heard in this story. We're going to help you, and we're going to prevent them from ever coming back. And as long as you put a bubble of what I call a bubble around your physical body, which is an invisible bubble, your daughter also should do this. You're going to say that I'm putting a bubble of the Christed energy of light around me. They will not go near you, and also we're going to make sure they're gone. So within
What
the
are
next
they?
few days,
Do you know?
I don't know what they are, but they're definitely doing things they shouldn't be doing, and they're going to be sent off planet. We're going to
I
send them
mean,
off planet.
another thing, my daughter can't have kids. And I always felt like it had something to do with this.
It might have. I'd have to read into it and meditate on that.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. We're getting to about 1:30, folks. I know there's more people that want to come on the show.
Okay.
If you
Thank
can
you so
hold off,
much.
and we want to thank you. We'll have more guests on tomorrow night. We go on at 11
Thank you,
o'clock.
redheaded Nana.
Yeah,
That was just real intense, and
yeah, it was very intense.
the detail and the fact that your father and you and your daughter, I mean, so many. Yeah, like Donald said, I got so many questions. I know we're gonna, end the show, but man, I'd love to have you on another
Yeah,
time.
we
Maybe
want
even
to
your
have you on
daughter.
again.
Man, that would
Yeah,
be awesome.
and even tomorrow night, if your daughter's around, we'd like to talk to her, have her on the show here.
Yeah, I can try. She gets really kind of freaked out when she talks about it, to be honest.
Really?
But
Well, we'll
yeah,
calm her down. If she gets on the show, we'll calm her down. The commander will calm her down. For people that know my background, I'm a talk show host on radio for 21 years on
yeah.
NPR radio with the Ashbar Command Radio Show. I do workshops on taking people off planet, and they keep journals. I do a lot of things, so I can help a lot of people. This show's not just about nuts and bolts. I help people when they tell me these stories, and I have connections off planet, which are very direct. So, Redhead, come back on. I want to hear more of your stories, your daughters. I want to help her. And we thank you so much for sharing.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Have a good night, y'all.
And thank you. And we if you want to support what we're doing, please go to my Venmo account, to my main profile page. You can do Venmo, anything you want, Venmo donations to show your support. Go to my TikTok and TikTok some gifts for tonight's show. So anybody wishes to do a TikTok gift, you can choose any gift you wish. We need your support. We've got over 300, almost 400 people here. Please, if you're new here, this is a show you're going to love to watch on a nightly basis. We are a talk show, and we're not one of these TikTok things where people are, hitting heads against each other and yelling at each other. We don't do that here. This is an actual talk show, and we have 400 people here. Thank you so much, all of you who found the show late night. We hope you'll join us tomorrow night, everybody. Let people know about the show. We've been on here for probably since the beginning of 2023. I want to send all my love to all the people out there viewing all over the world. This has been Encounters. James, thanks for being here. He's my co-host. And Redheaded, thanks for being here. And if you have any stories to tell, be it encounters or visitations with positive or whatever ETs, you can tell your story here. No one's going to laugh at you. Like I said, I've been a contactee myself since I was a kid. And also, I've had many, many numerous sightings of spaceships through the 60s all the way into 2024. So, original funny Mel, come on tomorrow night for our show. I'm going to follow you.
Guys, I put my email. My email in the chat again. So if you have pictures, if you have, and you know what, I got a good idea too, Commander. There's some people that might not want to come on alive. So if you send me your story on an email, I'll read it.
Yeah, he'll read the story.
I'll read the story, and you got pictures, videos, send them to the email. Don't send them to Commander, because he ain't going to check your message until the year 2027. So,
or the year 2048.
Yeah, so send them to me.
That's really weird. So I'm trying to set up my gifting thing here, and it's for some reason I'm not able to do it. I don't understand what's going on here. But anyway, I know that TikTok is saying this is a popular live. It's coming on the top of my screen, so that's nice. Everybody, please do show your support. If you have TikTok coins, please do some gifting right now. And again, we thank you all for being here. I know you could have been on other TikToks watching people jumping up and down on a trampoline or hitting eggs in their head or something.
Trampoline videos are pretty fun, Commander.
Yeah, the ones with the people with the eggs dropping down as they're jumping up and down on the trampoline, yes. I have a video, guys. Check it out. J.R. Ramirez would like to. And we're going to follow you, Junior Ramirez. Please, if you have any video footage, send it to my co-host. And we'll definitely like to look at your video footage. If people have UFO footage that's current, you've been taking, or you have current activity happening, this is the place where you want to be. We'll definitely, if you do want to come up tomorrow night, you can share your stories and what's going on where you are around the world. And this is disclosure. This is what disclosure is about. Your stories are absolute disclosure. So thank you, everybody. I don't see James's address. James will put it in here.
I'll put it up one more time. There it is.
Okay, so he put it up, and yeah. I think he put it up. I don't see anything. It's in there somewhere, right, James?
I just put it in the chat. It's right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's down the Rabbit Hole podcast. Yep.
Yeah, that's the email address. Right there.
Yeah, right there, right in front of you.
It's not showing up? They're blocking it. All right, well, I'll just tell you guys. It's Down the Rabbit Hole podcast, FL@mail.com.
Right. I'm not a conspiracy person, but maybe the government, the Pentagon, is not liking what we're doing here.
Wait, I have a secondary one. Let's see if that works.
Okay, someone says it's showing up. My birthday shirt, I'll be wearing that tomorrow night. I have two different shirts. I will wear one of them tomorrow night. This one here, that is right here. I'll show it to you.
Sorry, Scooby-Doo. I'm sorry.
This is a Beatles shirt. I don't think I can show it. Maybe you can, maybe.
Oh, the green screen's taking it out.
Well, I'll show it to you guys, but not tonight. But anyway, I want to thank everyone for being here. You've been great. All the new people finding the show, welcome to Encounters. You're going to be addicted to the show, and this is an addiction that is a good one. It's not, it's a good addiction. So thank you for joining us. Judy's a Beatles fan. Yeah, we love the Beatles. So plus a lot of.
Yeah, we
All
can
right.
do some. We can do some singing too, guys. For all you new people here, this
Yeah.
isn't just about UFOs. Sometimes we do some side entertainment too. So
Right. You know, but right
get
now
used to it.
we're getting into the tired mode in the East Coast here at 1:34 in the morning.
I
So, and
know.
James is also on the East Coast here. I don't know if he's going to stay on all night or not, but thanks for being here, James. And I'm going to
No,
say good
you're.
night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
And if anybody wants to gift us with TikTok coin, your gifts, do it right now before we leave, okay? And James just is going bye-bye for the moment. I want to say good night, everybody, and thank you for all your gifts. Again, any final gifting, please do it. We got to 116,000 followers. Please follow me if you want to keep abreast of my show. Everybody who's not following me, please follow me, follow each other, and have a great night. Ben's Place, thank you for the roses. We got Jackie with the heart puff, so we're going to do the final gift battling. I call it the battle of the gifts at the end of the night. We'll see what's going to happen here. Gift battling for the show. Carol's battling. She's got 2. Judy Jude's got 8 roses. Let's see if anyone's going to do something really interesting and crazy. Let's see here. Oh, what happened to all the gifting things I can do here? I don't see that. Huh. That's really weird. Oh, wow. Thank you for the 2 foot. Thank you for the roses. Ben's Place. We have rose battles going on here. The rose battles. Ben's Place is battling. He's got 322 on 2 foot. Judy Jude's got some stuff going there. Confetti. We got 2 foot again. Oh, man. 2 foot's going crazy on that. I don't think anyone's going to beat that. 28. Ben's Place has got 7 going up there. And if there's any of those floating lights or stuff like that, or any of the fish, like the whales or stuff, Ben's Place is doing the roses. Any galaxies out there, that would be great. Pearl, thank you for being here. Everybody, thanks for being here. I'm really going to go to sleep. It's been a long night. Hey, Honey McReynolds, thank you. I feel fired up there. Ben's Place, thank you for the roses. All right, folks. Everybody, it's been a great show. Thanks for being here. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you Thursday night. And live before trying to sub. All right.